hour-long episodes.
Yeah, I was gonna say here's the thing: like everybody's so married to the 30-minute or an hour format from traditional TV. You don't have to fucking do that with streaming. Like if you want to have a show that's literally 90 minutes every time, or 77 minutes, or 110 minutes, you could do whatever the fuck you want to tell your episodic story in whatever length you want. So
Yeah, I think
I'm
they.
really hoping that if they need to, they make certain episodes, maybe the pilot, maybe the finale, a different length. And I hope this isn't just 30 minutes, but we'll
I
see.
can't remember what show did it, but I think it might have been Mandalorian, but there's some episodes of Mandalorian where it's like it can be 30 minutes long, 45 minutes long,
Hmm.
32 minutes long. Like the time was always like it wasn't always consistent.
Oh
Yeah,
They
yeah,
didn't
that's
follow a standard
definitely
format.
true.
and Netflix does that a whole fucking ton as well, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like do whatever you want. Tell your vision in that episode. If it takes an hour, or hour plus, fucking go ahead. But
So
this one looks good.
we're looking at anywhere from 40 to 50 minutes per episode, and it
Good.
will
Okay,
be
so they're about an
six,
hour.
and there will be 6 episodes.
Okay,
So
I'm
that
down.
ought to be interesting.
I'm fucking down, man. Uh,
It's like 6 movies.
yeah,
You know,
exactly.
Two movies, like two big movies.
one cool thing about the trailer that I liked a lot was kind of like the flying stunts that Falcon did. Like there's that one scene where he's making fun of Bucky for getting his ass kicked by a girl, and then you see him like zip underneath the two 18-wheeler trucks. But then there's like another scene where him and Bucky are in an airplane about to like drop in, and Bucky's like, "Hey, you have a plan?" He thought, "Yeah, I have a plan." He just fucking just jumps out without telling him the plan, and you just see him doing like cool like aerial tricks with his fucking wingsuit, which I think is gonna be fucking dope.
Yeah, those tricks look. Some of them look exactly the same level of quality as we saw in like Civil War or even Winter Soldier, and they look new. They look fresh too. You know what I mean? They don't look like recycled as stuff from the movies. So I'm fucking down, man. Let's fucking go. You know?
They're not pulling the Michael Bay thing and just use the same scenes and just cut it a little bit different like they did it like he did in Transformers.
Exactly. Exactly. Um, Switching it up just a little bit. I can't keep up with the fucking Last of Us movie, fucking casting shit. There's been 180 after 180. Earlier today, it was rumored, like from some credible sources, like I think Hollywood Reporter and some others, talking about they had offered the role of Joel to Mahershala Ali, who's famously going to be playing Blade, and in the Luke Cage series had played Cottonmouth.
What's the
And
character Joel? Is he the main character or is he just some side
I
character?
always forget you haven't played Last of Us. Yeah,
Wait,
Joel is for Last of Us One is literally the main character. You play as him for 80%, maybe even 90% of the game, and then he does show up for part two briefly. But yeah, he's the main like protagonist. So we'll fucking see. But then I don't know, 4 or 5 hours later, and this is a busy ass fucking day of news. I saw the role officially went to, according to IGN, Pedro Pascal.
hmm
So what
so
y'all think?
some flip flopping. Watch it in like 2 hours. This role is going to end up going to Chris Tucker. So I'm just going to wait and see. I mean, I think Pedro kind of has a look. If he grows out his beard, he'll probably look very similar to
Hmm.
the character of Joel. Personally, I think they should have went with John Bernthal. I think he would have been able to give that intensity to the role, especially fucking up fireflies and fucking infected, but yet still be able to connect with Ellie. Also, they also had some Game of Thrones casting with the young Mermont gonna
Hmm.
be Ellie. Despite popular belief, it's not gonna be Elliot Page. So
Well, she
you
doesn't.
know,
I mean, she's a he no, and
yeah. So
she also threw up a huge, or he threw up a huge stink when the character model was first released. I think. Well, back then she was a she, so she sued um, Naughty Dog. So let's not forget that. So I'm not surprised.
Wait, was it that game or was it that other game that
Oh, it might have
she
been
sued?
Beyond Two Souls.
So
I think it was
Beyond Two Souls, Beyond Two Souls is her actually being in the game because she lends her likeness and it's her voice.
Oh, okay.
Last of Us, it looks like her. It's her likeness. That's why she made the big.
Oh, she did. Okay. All right. My bad.
Let me just make sure I'm not tripping here. Yeah, she said that Naughty Dog ripped her off. This is back in 2013.
You're talking about Elliot, right?
Yeah. Well, back then
Elliot
it was
Pager?
back then she was Ellen. So
Wait, did she keep her last name or is it something else?
I think she kept her last
think-
name.
Yeah, she kept her last name. Her first name is, or his first name is now Elliot.
She should change the last name to Pager. I'm just saying.
We'll fucking see. I don't know about any other casting with this movie, but look, it looks like this thing is actually fucking moving forward, and it's going to have a real fucking list of fucking actors and people on board. You know, we know the record of not all, but plenty of video game adaptation movies that have not done well. Few exceptions, but most of them don't do well. Are you guys feeling fairly confident that this could be something or what?
So this will be a series and not a film.
Series. Okay.
Yeah, it'll
it's
be
gonna
a series.
Wow.
Yeah, it'll
okay.
be a series on HBO. So we know how HBO brings it. So
This is true.
This could be way different. Than
This could be
you've ever seen,
Yeah, this could be like The Walking Dead almost.
but crazier.
Yeah, but
Well, I was thinking about in terms of semi-video game adaptations of The Witcher being really good. Obviously, I know the book came out first and blah blah blah, but 99% of the world knows The Witcher through those goddamn games, you know.
yeah.
So we'll fucking see. That knocked my socks off. You know what I mean?
But this is all breaking news, right? Like this, we haven't talked about Witcher coming out. Not Witcher. The Last of Us coming out as a TV series, right? That's like the first time they announced it.
It's not the first time they announced it, but now we're getting casting news. They announced it sometime, I think, in 2020. I don't have the exact date. But you know, I was like, yeah, we'll see. You know, it could get pushed back. Obviously, we had all the stuff with COVID and everything, but it seems like they're gonna make this happen.
Yeah.
We'll fucking see. How are we doing over there, Kronos? Just checking in.
we're good now. I can.
Okay.
Everything works again. It's just they move shit around. It's stupid. It's fine now.
Gotcha. You saw the Winter Soldier trailer, Kronos? Did you get in? What were your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it looked pretty good. I like the banter back and forth. It looks like it could be another hit. You know, people always talk about canceling Disney Plus because after the Mandalorian, but it's like they have other stuff lined up. So
Yeah.
I mean, if some people don't like WandaVision, I do. I mean, that's a good show. I think the Winter Soldier could be Falcon and the Winter Soldier could be a good show as well. And they have a bunch of other ones, coming after that. Plus, the other Star Wars stuff, and they have a solid lineup coming up. We just have to, wait for it. So.
Well, that's how it was for me with HBO Max because I only got it so I can watch Wonder Woman, but then like that new movie with Denzel Washington and the guy who played the Joker and Elliot from
Leto?
Mr. Robot. Yeah, that
Leto?
came out. I was like, yeah, John Leto or Jay Leto. John Leto? It's Jay Leto. Jared Leto. Fuck man, so many Letos. But yeah, like when that movie came out, I was like, oh shit, I guess I gotta keep HBO for another month so I can watch this again. I watch it.
They added your Batman as well. I don't know if you saw it.
I've been watching them all. They had like all the fucking DC catalog was great.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, there's been some stuff on there, so it's just been interesting. I still think people that were complaining about Disney Plus and them not having enough content was kind of unfair because Netflix was kind of the same. I mean, a lot of people had it, but a lot of people shit on it because they had like a lot of B movies and they didn't even make original content till years later.
Oh yeah.
And so now they have a repertoire and they have the money and the users to put out like original content. So one of their first things was House of Cards, which is like 2 or 3 years after they launched. So at least Disney Plus had original content like from their initial year at the very least. So
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I have been very critical. Let's call it what it is. I've been very critical because in 2020, I didn't see much besides Mandalorian. I really did. And they did advertise both WandaVision and Winter Soldier, Falcon in like the summer of 2019. So they told us that we were going to get it in 2020. Things happened. It got pushed back. It got delayed. And I did like Black is King. I really like that a lot, the Beyonce stuff. But there was a lot of legacy. I didn't use it. I really didn't for very much stuff all throughout last year. Now, I've used it a bit more of late, and I'm excited about Winter Soldier, But last year, I didn't have a whole lot of reasons for going on there. Yes, I realize that, and I know you're going to mention it, Old Ninja. Clone Wars is something that you promote, and I loved Mando. Both seasons, but I didn't have a whole lot going on there for me.
Yeah, I guess it's fair, but
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it depends on what kind of like watcher or what kind of content you're expecting versus what you knew you were getting. I guess because you knew you were getting the whole legacy stuff, and you knew you're gonna get like all of the Star Wars and all of the Marvel stuff. But
Sure.
most of their original stuff was like High School Musical, and they had Lady and the Tramp, and they had a couple of other stuff.
The
I mean,
Disney
they
Vault.
did. Yeah, well, Lady and the Tramp, they did a live action, so that was,
I didn't even hear about a Lady and the Tramp live action movie. What
yeah,
the fuck?
Lady and the Tramp is live action. It's a live action like film. It's
They had
on
like
there right
dogs.
now.
They had like the CGI dogs. Is
Yeah,
that
they
what
have the
did?
dogs with the CGI mouths or whatever. But, I mean, that's all on there. I mean, but it wasn't for everyone, and they still didn't even have, at least at launch, it didn't have all of their like library and stuff like stuff. Oh, like what was it? Descendants. I don't think was on there. It's on there now. And then what was the other one?
The Cinderella one's on there now. The one with Brandy.
Yeah, that's
Brandy
on there.
Houston.
That's coming out.
Oh,
now.
with
I know
Whitney.
Yeah.
I forgot about
Yeah,
that shit.
so we'll get to
And-
see, a lot of there's a lot of
And
Whitney
Whoopi
fans.
Goldberg.
Yeah, a lot of Whitney fans out there, so they'll be able to get to see. I think it's out on Friday, isn't it? Or it's out
Yeah,
already?
I think so.
Something
I
like
think it
that.
comes out Friday.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just really what you expect versus what you want, I guess. So I knew like a lot of stuff was coming because when was it 2019 Super Bowl? They showed us a Loki snippet. They showed us Falcon and the Winter
Yeah.
Soldier snippet. They showed us WandaVision snippet. They talked about a couple other stuff that's coming. So now we're starting to actually get releases. WandaVision's out. Mando's been out. We're probably going to see
2 seasons
Loki.
of Mando.
Yeah, we're probably going to see Loki in like end of the year, maybe. So, stuff is coming, and I'm excited for it. So I still have my subscription going. So.
You know who ain't
So-
gonna be on there?
Oh shit!
That ain't shit ass Gina Carano is not gonna be with Disney at all. She got fired on her motherfucking day off.
Whoa,
For
did I actually
a-
let her go?
They
Oh, yeah.
sure did.
Yeah.
They sure did. I
Damn.
know we're gonna discuss it, but holy fuck! Now she has had a history of warnings with them. For anybody who was paying attention throughout 2020, for some denying that there's any such thing as systemic racism, being anti-mask stuff. And obviously now anti-Semitism. She's been all over the place with, and as well as some anti-transgender stuff too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She's posted all of this despite warnings on her Instagram repeatedly. I think it was yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, that she did the latest, which was comparing basically being conservative or Republican now in 2021 with being a Jew in Nazi Germany during the Holocaust. And Disney let her go a few hours later, it seemed like.
Yeah, it was a
this
quick
was blowing
turnaround.
up all over Twitter, rightly fucking so. What do y'all think about your girl Gina?
I mean, y'all know me. I actually like Gina Carano, except for, her crazy stuff. And today, especially, just like, man, what are you doing? Like, she deserved to get fired, comparing the conservatives that, were storming the Capitol to Jewish people that got killed by the millions is fucking wholly absurd. So, yeah, for her not to understand that your ethnicity can't be changed and your belief is something that you acquire later on in life. It's your belief, but it's a choice. Your ethnicity is not. And that's what she doesn't really seem to understand. And also, I don't see a bunch of people going out there and rounding up a bunch of conservatives and throwing them in jails and beating them up and all that kind of shit. So I don't understand why she would say that. I think that we have this whole, misinformation campaign out there on the internet and a whole lot of, anti-science shit. People are just fucking stupid, and they like to flaunt their ignorance like it's something to be admired, but it's not. It's silly nonsense, and these things deserve to happen. If you want to bring up the First Amendment, shut the fuck up. First Amendment protects you from the government. It doesn't, and only for certain things. It does not protect you from everything, right? It does not protect you from a private corporation from firing you. I've given the example before, but you can't walk into your boss's office, tell him fuck you, and then get mad when you get fired. Or the other example of saying, I've got a bomb in front of the TSA in an airport. So those are all things that there are consequences for, and the First Amendment will not protect you. What it will protect you from is just like basic shit from the government, not censoring you. But the government had nothing to do with Gina Carano getting fired, so people need to just take several seats, If you wanna make your own, company where that sort of behavior is acceptable, you can try, but you're not gonna find much work. So
Well, they tried doing that with that
Parler,
one app.
yeah,
Parler, yeah, and that shit got shut down. I mean, I guess they're still around, but you can't really access their app.
Well, you have to go through some, like Chronos should point out, you got to do some technical stuff to get it to run on your phone or maybe even on your PC. I don't know, but that's not the only one. There's also another app called MeWe, which is another quote unquote free speech app out there. There's another one, I think it's called Grind or something like that.
We don't want to hear about Grinder and you, old ninja. We know you're on there. God
Oh,
damn
no. This is your account. I logged in with your credentials, and I saw what you saw. Now I understand your food obsession because your Grinder account. But still, I mean, there's still these platforms that are out there that are advertising to basically Trump's user base, pretty much, about them using their platform and how to get to it. So,
anyway, back to Gina.
Yeah, I was about to say. Go ahead.
Well, for me, I'm gonna quote Martin on this one. I want to say is, "Damn, Gina, damn," because man, like her in Mandalorian, she's really great in that, and she was really good in Deadpool. But I guess her character died in the first one, so she won't be back at all. But this is shooting yourself in the foot because her character, at least in the Mandalorian, plays a major role, and it left off on a cliffhanger how she's kind of like the main badass for the rebel party, I think it was, I can't remember her job role, but she has this great opportunity and this good income coming in, and she shot herself in the foot, and I feel like she doesn't learn because since she made this mistake in the past, what's homeboy's name, Nick Cannon, that fool had some racist remarks about Jews and stuff like that, and he actually went and talked to people, got informed, learned exactly what he said and how it hurt people, and he changed his weight. He got his fucking show back. Wow, now it's coming back to fucking MTV, but who cares about that? But he's getting a few more hosting gigs and stuff like that. So he learned from his mistake and he's moving forward. But Gina, she just keeps fucking up and she keeps following this crazy bullshit that's been posted on the internet. So
yeah,
sorry, Gina.
Nick Cannon hosts what is it? The Masked Singer, a super popular show. So he could have lost that on that. But
he did lose on that. Terry Crews started to host that.
Oh yeah, I mean they'll probably bring back Nick Cannon, but still, it's all bad.
Well, the crazy part is that as of right now, we still have people that lived through the Holocaust. So it's like people that were alive during this. But in 10, 20 years from now, that's not gonna be the case, and there's gonna be more and more people that are gonna be these Holocaust deniers and saying all this stupid shit about what happened during World War II. And it's just man, what the fuck? It's one of the actual atrocities taught in high school and in school in general, and you got fucking clowns still not understanding what happened. I mean, they go into it in depth almost every year in history, and you still have dumbasses that believe in misinformation.
She was committed to this. I guess that's the part that fucks me up. She was so committed to being a dumbass racist and anti-Semite that despite warnings, she was like, fuck y'all. I'm going to keep on saying this. You know what I mean? Because there were calls, there was trending hashtags of fire Gina Carano multiple times last year. I saw them, and they kind of spilled over, and Disney kind of said, "Hey, we've already filmed season 2 of Mando. Y'all got to shut the fuck up." But this is who she fucking is. Like, real talk. You know what I mean? And this kind of reminds me of like Mel Gibson with his fucking tirades from a few years ago, where he just kind of he went off with all kinds of racist bullshit. And I don't know. I don't think there's any coming back from this publicly. It doesn't sound. I don't hear a whole lot of public apologies from her or anything like that. Obviously, Disney did the right fucking thing. I hope they replace her with maybe Lucy Lawless or something like that. But
Like,
fuck Gina.
I kind of hope, like, if they were to replace somebody, I would say the girl who played Lady Sith in the Star Wars, or not Star Wars, from Thor. They kind of look similar, but she's a little bit more on the slimmer, skinny side. But I think she can take that role.
Jamie Alexander. I mean,
yeah, that's her name.
I mean, she does do it. She's not as swole as Gina, but she does do a lot of action sequences. She gets herself fucked up doing that too. It's all bad.
What's his name that plays Rhodey now does not look like Terrence Howard at all.
Yeah. Nobody gave a fuck.
Or height.
We just kept it rolling.
Edward Norton and Ruffalo don't look alike for shit. You know what I mean? You can replace, and it'll be a different body type and a whole new person, and they'll keep that fucking money moving.
Yep.
I mean, or either that, or they kill her off. Never know.
Off screen, who fucking knows? But I mean, here's the thing: as Old Ninja alluded to, the Star Wars universe, from TV shows to movies, seems like it's about to hit fucking high gear again. In terms of, we know that we're getting the Boba Fett series. Like, they teased that right immediately.
Yeah.
We know we're getting more Pedro Pascal, Mando, and then there's like 8 or 9 fucking other shows that are in the Star Wars verse with Ahsoka Tano and plenty others that she could have made cameos on. She could have parlayed that into a fucking her own goddamn spinoff. Anything was fucking possible. She don't like money, and she likes her fucking anti-Semitism and racism and other bullshit beliefs way more than she has good sense. Imagine being her fucking agent. You know what I mean? You're just
man.
Bitch, what the fuck is wrong with you?
He's like, what are you doing, girl? Like, shut the fuck up. We about to get paid, and you fucking this up.
About to? Yeah. Like, literally, you've already been cashing fucking checks, and you can't, you shooting yourself in the fucking foot. So, yeah, the backlash is going to be severe. I don't think people are going to be forgetting about this for a while.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't think she's going to be apologizing either.
So, here's the thing. But if she goes to some kind of, like, counseling and does what Nick Cannon does, I can see her coming back. And she'd have to issue an apology or understand the error of her ways and whatnot. But it's like you said, she's been going off for over a year about her stance on a lot of, like, controversial stuff, and she didn't backtrack any of it. So I don't see her going back and say, she'll probably go on like, oh, they're trying to silence conservative voices and all this other stuff. And I'm just going to be like, well, you didn't fucked up. So moving on.
Even if there are other opportunities, you're not talking about Star Wars, Disney kind of money opportunities. I'm sorry.
Oh, probably not. No, yeah, no.
You know, or Fast, because she was also in the Fast and the Furious franchise.
Oh, that's right.
You know what I mean? And all them things are that money is going to keep on fucking moving without the fucking her. Deadpool as well. So, you know, hey.
Since we're kind of on the topic of racism, you guys want to talk about that school? We'll jump into that real quick.
Oh, this is the Utah one. Set it up.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a school out in Utah, and basically they sent out permission letters, or they sent out opt-out letters to students to allow students to opt out of Black History Month, which is fucking ridiculous. But what's cool is that a lot of parents did opt out because they felt like this was dumb. Like, yeah, kids should learn about Black history. But yeah, this shit's been blowing up the news lately. What do your guys take on this?
Well, it's what I bring up every now and again, is that we need to get rid of Black History Month.
Sorry. Every year.
Yeah, it's fucking dumb. Like, just get rid of it. Start teaching Black history along with American history, because it is American history, and teach it year-round, along with Mexican history, or Mexican-American history, Asian-American history, all those fucking histories. Teach them all together. It's all part of the American experience. I can't stand how we keep teaching the white side of history throughout most of the year, and then other ethnic groups get a week or a month, and that's it. And it's always about the same shit. Like you don't get to actually learn about the whole entire Black history. You get to hear about MLK, Malcolm X, maybe the civil rights movement. It's the same fucking people. Like there's other shit that people have done that are Black in America that we could be teaching if we taught it year round. But we're missing all this stuff. And the fact that you can opt out of Black History Month, it's shit like this is the reason why it needs to be taught year round. Stop separating out our history from American history and just teach it year round so people actually understand. Make it fucking normal, because that's the way it is in America. We've been here just as long as every white person has been here. So why don't we get the same amount of respect in American history, along with every other ethnic group? So I think this should be a catalyst to fucking end it, and just teach it as American history.
Yeah, for me, I think you're going to move. When you say end it, it's cart before the horse for me. I agree that it needs to be incorporated much more into just regular American history. That needs to happen way first. Like, the first thing that needs to happen is that this is, let's cancel Black History Month, and then what will happen is there will be nothing.
No, I want it to be taught year round.
I'm saying is, we can't phrase it as just in Black History Month. It has to be.
Well, no, that's why I said end it and teach it year round. It's a whole sentence.
Is not let's just end Black History Month. It's incorporate Black history into American history better, like period, and then go from there. But the whole thing of eliminating Black History Month, that didn't help it. That didn't help anything either.
Well, no, so I'm in a whole sentence, eliminate it and teach it year round at the same time. We do it the same fucking. As far as we should be able to do it at the same time. So I'm not saying eliminate it and have nothing.
First incorporate. That's where I'm disagreeing. I say first incorporate better.
Well, if you incorporate it, then you wouldn't need it.
No, I say first incorporate better. Period. And then from there you can do. Yes, I think you can do a deeper dive into several aspects of Black history as well. Because history is not some finite thing. You can do deeper dives into certain aspects of Black history figures, both in 1800s, 1900s, present, etc. You can do a better job of explaining history, period. I think it's important to do as best of a job with history as you possibly can. But the whole aspect of eliminating Black history
no, I'm not saying
puts us back.
I'm not saying eliminate Black history. Like I said, it's a whole sentence.
I hear your sentence. Eliminate the part that says eliminating Black History Month is the part I disagree with. I'm saying focus on incorporating it into history, period. Doing a better job.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying too. Like I don't.
But you're also saying and then eliminate Black History Month. You're not saying that?
No, I am saying it definitely. Like I want it to be taught year round.
With that part.
I want it to be taught year round, like with normal history, because it is normal history. And if you want to do deep dives, it's the same deep. So listen, we do deep dives in fucking history all the time. So we go through time periods, right, in history. So why aren't we teaching the same time periods with all the other ethnic groups in those time periods? Like we start from the 1400s, the 1600s. We go through all these fucking things, but we're only teaching those specific things from the white or the European perspective. So why aren't we just adding in those? We can do the same deep dive with other ethnic groups and just put those in the same time frames. So yeah, I'm all for the deep dives, but we can do it at the same fucking time. I just don't know why we're always focused on European history and then we cram in all this information on just like 1 month or a couple of weeks or whatever. It seems like silly to me.
Well, I mean, the whole purpose of we got to be clear about the purpose of it. It's done because systematically, hundreds of years, we just eliminated from all forms of history. I mean, there was a purpose for that. I think it was started in the 1920s, basically because it was both President Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass's birthday, and then this I forget the actual name of the creator of it, but it started off as Negro History Week, and then eventually in the 1970s it became Black History Month. But yeah, we all grew up with textbooks that had very few aspects of Black history. So I mean, there was certainly a need for it, and there still is a need for it. It doesn't hurt anybody.
No, yeah, that's why I'm not saying like because it's already not there. All I'm saying is put it in where we're already teaching European history because Black history was there too. We're just not teaching it in the same time frames. Just make it normal. Like during the time of Columbus coming over to America, guess what? We had a transatlantic slave trade that was already existed, and this is what happened. When you get to like the Civil War, we can also talk about what else was happening during the Civil War, not just the North versus the South. There's other things that can be talked about there that we're just not doing because we're covering up atrocities that were done at the hands of Europeans, and that's what I want. And even even during Black History Month, like we're still glossing over a whole bunch of atrocities that happened, and other things that happened during those time frames. I would rather have it being normalized and taught on this at the same level of detail as European history in America. That's what I want.
Well, this is pretty interesting. I looked up Black History Month on Wikipedia, and so the United States and Canada celebrate Black History Month in February, but in Ireland and the Netherlands and the UK, or basically Europe, they celebrate it in October.
Yeah, I knew that because of Peloton, because some of the Black instructors are Black, and one of the ones that I write to a lot, she's British, so they had their Black History Month in October, and it was like, oh, okay, I get to do this again, and I got to hear about. I got to listen to UK Black History, which is interesting.
So this is interesting too. So Black History Month in the United States started in 1970s, which was fucking 51 years ago. UK started in 1987. Canada started in 1995, which is hella recently. And then Ireland, they're participating since 2010.
It's barely.
I mean,
11 years.
I have not been to Ireland. I do not expect. I can look at the census, but I don't expect to see a lot of people of African descent in that country proper. But maybe I'm wrong on that.
Yeah, I mean,
interesting.
Maybe I don't know about the I know there's a lot of Black people in the UK though, which no surprise.
Yeah.
So I get what Cronus is trying to say, and I hear what
Prodigy
is trying to say.
What's his name?
I'm trying to put it together because I feel like you two wish the same goals, but I feel like what Prodigy is talking about is short term, something that they can fix immediately, which is get rid of this opting out bullshit. Because like, how do you explain to kids that we're skipping parts of this history because we don't want to talk to you about it? And it's like, well, all of this has been done, especially in the US, and it should be acknowledged to especially young people what's happened in their country, especially very, very young people. And I do think that the Black History Month material and events and the amount of history that has gone on in this country should be incorporated in the U.S. history books. But unfortunately, those books do only have sections of them. I don't know if you've seen some of the books that are in high school now. They literally only talk about Black people either in like a small one shot, like a page. Oh, this person did this during this event, and it's only one person, and then everything else is about all these other people. And then when it gets to African Americans in the country, it's literally it starts at slavery. Usually that's when you start getting more names. They hear about Nat Turner, they hear about Harriet Tubman, but all that stuff before that is not talked about in those books. So in order to change that, those books need to be rewritten. And it's weird because a few months ago, I don't know if we talked about this, but there's a teacher in Georgia who was trying to get a book that didn't have any of that stuff in there. They want to literally skip slavery.
Yep.
And just focus on Europeans and their migration here. So that kind of needs to, I think this may have to go to a federal level where they have to kind of redesign everything. That's not going to happen overnight.
Yeah, that's sorry. Both of what both me and Prodigy are talking about, it's all long term. Even what I'm talking about, when I say just end it and start teaching it throughout all of history, that's long term. because you have to rewrite, you have to make new textbooks. Because right now, textbooks in America for history are just, at least for like high school and elementary school history, they're fucking bullshit. It's full of nonsense. We still have most of the textbooks talking about how Christopher Columbus was some fucking hero that, you know, discovered America, even though the natives were already here. And so it's like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. They leave out all the genocide that he did. You know, they need to really have truthful textbooks, but they're just so worried to like offend, you know, white America. And I'm just like, listen, it happened. Like, there's atrocities that happened in fucking Africa. You know, there was a slave trade that existed there before the Europeans were there as well. It wasn't as bad as the transatlantic slave trade, but there still was slavery in Africa. And you know, that shit wasn't great either. But guess what? We know about it, or at least some of us know about it. People aren't covering it up, you know? So,
I mean,
I'm gonna do a quick shout out. If you are hearing us discuss this and you have any interest in learning a bit more and just doing some of your own reading, let me just recommend a real quick one. There's a book I just finished by Paul Ortiz called An African American and Latinx History of the United States. It's only about a little over 200 pages. It's actually a shorter read for nonfiction history books.
say the name of it again.
It's An African American and Latinx History of the United States by Paul Ortiz. Excellent, well-researched, history book. It's going to do a deep dive into periods like the 1800s, like the early 1900s, and looking at it from the kind of a global South perspective sometimes too. And then obviously the American impact on it, or American views, and how really atrocities were committed, and most importantly, doing that deep dive to me on an area that almost never gets touched upon, which is Jim Crow. And then its sister cousin, Juan Crow, against Latin people. So I hear you guys about the textbook stuff. They certainly can be improved. I'm in full agreement on them being improved. But I'm also going to say this too, for just normal adults, so that we don't end up with more Gina Carano's. Do some goddamn reading. You know what I mean? Like, information is fucking free. Do some reading on the Holocaust. Do some reading on this Paul Ortiz book I recommended. We will recommend books for you to read to have a better, more comprehensive understanding of historical things that occurred and what that means even for today. Like, just do that. Don't be lazy.
Kind of, just to piggyback off what everyone's been saying, like, I agree that, we definitely need more Black history throughout the year. But I like Black History Month just as, like, a celebration of Black culture. Like, we can look back on things and, we can party and have our drinking and this and that. Like, it
you
can
just
be...
want to drink blue.
You caught me, damn it.
Sorry, go ahead.
But no, like, I feel like, Black history needs to be American history and taught year-round. But Black History Month, I say we can still keep it and just continue celebrating Black history.
I will say this. I learn a little bit of something new literally every year.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like there's some kind of meme or quick blurb, and I'm just like, oh, I didn't know that.
Like, my favorite thing that I learned for Black History Month a couple years ago was that Harriet Tubman kept that thing on her, and basically, like,
she had to, though.
Well, no, that's what I'm gonna say. Like, if you're running with her and you decide to change your mind, like, oh, I'm going back, she's like, no, the fuck you ain't. Because, like, if that person was to go and leave, like, their person's gonna be lynched and beaten until they give up their secrets, and it's like, hey, if you're going back, you're gonna fucking die right here now. And I was like, holy shit.
Exactly, because if they went back, they would have gave up everything.
Yep.
And it would have been all bad.
I literally learned, I don't know if it was from the Paul Ortiz book or a factoid from Black History Month on either the radio or a meme or something, but I learned that the Underground Railroad didn't always go fucking north. It actually went into Mexico quite a bit, especially if you were in Louisiana or Texas, and Mexico already had freedom in terms of slavery being outlawed, and so the whole thing of the Texas Rangers and whatnot has a very different context to me in terms of literally rounding up not only slaves but taking over Mexican land, taking over property that was in America that was owned by Mexicans, and them saying, get the fuck out of here. Like, You know how they changed the name of some sports teams, like the Washington
Like the Chiefs.
Redskins, rightly so.
Yeah.
After reading and learning a little bit more about the history with the Texas Rangers, I wouldn't be surprised if in 10, 20 years, when it becomes a little bit better known, they change that name too. It's a real ugly history. But
Oh, the Washington Redskins?
no, the Rangers.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. Well, the thing is, well, because yeah, if you go back then, yeah, Rangers has a different meaning, but today we still have like Army Rangers, so that's
Yeah.
and they serve a totally different purpose. So
Yeah, but I'm positive that the Texas Rangers as a baseball team is alluding to the Rangers of Texas, not
Yeah.
not with the Army.
yeah, but that's
not,
yeah, but it's just gonna take education, I guess. That was
Absolutely.
it's gonna be a harder one to swallow because most people don't associate the Rangers with that. But yeah, I mean, if it's gotta change, it's gotta change. There's some shit where it's just like, like the Redskins. I still don't believe the Redskins. It took that fucking long for them to change their names. It's like, dude, are you for real? Like
that was that owner. That owner got asked that question for like the last 15 years on tape, and he was just like, "Nah, I ain't doing that." He was stubborn as shit until last year. But hey, I'm glad they changed it. It's literally in the Webster's dictionary as a racial slur.
Yeah.
Fucked up. Are we gonna talk about your? I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, it's like you said, when you mess with that money, everything changes up on you.
For real, that changed people's
it
answers real quick.
That changed his tune real nice.
Are we gonna talk about possibly the stupidest person other than Gina Carano?
Oh, here we go.
Of this week. Have you seen Gorilla Girl?
God.
Gorilla Glue Girl.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, the Gorilla Girl. Oh my God.
No,
Got
Gorilla
it.
Glue Girl. This I don't have her actual government name. I'm not gonna put it out there per se, but she got on some viral TikTok, bragging about how she ran out of some kind of styling gel for her fucking hair, and she just decided to use Gorilla Glue instead to keep her hair kind of pressed down or whatever. And her hair didn't move, and it got stuck. And I thought it was a fucking joke when I saw it on Twitter. I was like, okay.
I did too.
I was like, she can't be serious. No human would be dumb enough to put something that is not for sale at a beauty supply store and literally tells you on the bottle and in all their commercials, it's not for use on your skin at all.
Yeah, so
this is.
I'm just making sure because I actually have Gorilla Glue like right here in front of me.
There
It's
you
like
go.
it's on my table, and like literally the first line where it says "Warning: Eye and skin irritant may produce allergic reaction. Do not swallow. Do not get in eyes. Do not get on skin or clothing." Like, what the fuck? It's literally in the first fucking sentence. Like, don't put this shit on your skin. So like,
Yes.
and now I guess he's trying to sue Gorilla Glue or something like that because it didn't say.
Yeah.
It didn't have proper. I'm like, bitch, it's on here. Like, what the fuck?
Was she suing because it doesn't say hair?
But she's gluing it to her
doesn't say-
skin. Like, does she not understand that there's skin underneath the fucking hair?
No, she doesn't because she pet the shit in her hair.
Jesus Christ.
She's dumb. She's literally stupid. And I saw people online defending her, and
No.
maybe it was an innocent mistake bullshit. No, this is just a really dumb person who was bragging online and made a dumbass mistake, and we're laughing at her.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like, I remember like back in the day, like when I had long hair, like I have like a lot of girl cousins. If you want your hair slicked back, use that Pro Jam, that brown gel that you use. And like looking at the chick, this lady, seeing her, I'm like, oh, she should have just used that Pro Jam. Like she would have been set for like maybe a good 2 days. But like this Gorilla Glue took it to a whole nother level of slicking your hair back.
she went to the ER, and
Oh, yeah.
they had to do some kind of chemical, rinse or some shit. They're
Yep.
Like basically, most of her hair is gone. She looked like me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like she got a cue ball now for stupidity. What you saying, old ninja?
No, I was gonna say they probably did some like this solvent that's supposed to like break it up, but I don't think that worked that great.
It's
'cause they had to
acetone,
get it
yeah.
good enough to where they can cut the hair. Because if not, it would have either damaged the like scissors or even a razor or not a razor, but clippers. It would have damaged clippers. So they had to relax the glue enough to cut it through.
I mean, you can.
I saw a picture where they cut the circle back on her hair, and she had like
They cut off her ponytail.
yeah, they had like the wings and stuff, and she was like crying or whatever. And I'm just like, well, what makes you think hardware appliance would work on your hair? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand.
I mean, acetone will get it. I mean, Matt already said in the chat, but acetone will get it off. But it's just like acetone's not great for your skin either, especially when you have that much of it on your skin. Like you have to like really let that shit soak in. So it's like, yeah, you're in for a chemical burn and then a chemical burn. So it's just like,
And she was on TMZ talking about it, talking about how like she's not doing this for publicity
Bullshit.
stunt reasons or whatever, blah blah. And like the reason why she posted in the beginning was just so that she can try to get help and get feedback from other people of how to resolve the issue. But it's like you had this shit in your hair for a whole fucking month, a month plus, and now you're like posting this video up and stuff like that. Like, come on now.
Mm.
It did look good, though.
I've heard issues that she had mental health. Is this true, or do we know?
well, I'm sure she has mental health issues now. If she didn't before, I mean, Jesus Christ, that's gotta be some traumatizing shit.
Damn.
Look, all I know is she got a big case of the stupids. She really
Jesus
do.
Christ.
And I know people want to like try to look the other way and kind of give her some leeway. This ain't a smart person, man. I'm sorry. Like you can style your hair however the fuck you want, but you can't find Gorilla Glue in any salon or any beauty supply store for a fucking reason. You know what I mean?
I mean, I get it, but I'm just trying to ascertain. Did she have some kind of like debilitating learning thing? Did she have some kind of, mental health issue prior to using the glue, or was she just not intellectually sturdy enough to understand this? That's what I
You don't want to use the
understand.
stupid word.
You can say it all you want. I'm trying to be a little PC about it, just a little. So
Yeah, I mean, even on just like basic, this is why we have warning fucking signs on everything, is because stupid shit like this. Because even with the warning signs, somebody is gonna still use it incorrectly and then try to sue a company over some stupid shit. But even in like normal like beauty products, there's warnings all over that shit. Like don't leave it in too long. Like probably not leave some glue on your head for a fucking month. Like really? Like even when you're dyeing your hair, it's only for a certain amount of time. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, come on, man.
Do you remember? And I don't know if this was urban legend or if it actually really went down. Do you remember like the whole thing of some woman went into McDonald's and like the cup said hot, and like, she still burned herself and she sued McDonald's
and she won
and got money.
Yeah,
yeah,
it
won.
was legit. Okay,
Yeah, it was legit.
She won her case.
Let me make sure, because some of them are bullshit. So let me make sure.
Make fact check it, because I thought the cup already said hot, but now it had to say extremely hot after that lawsuit or something.
Yeah, I think that's what. Because I remember like the cup didn't say hot or it didn't have extremely hot on there or something like that. But I think there's another case where I guess the lid wasn't on all the way and it spilled on the person and they sued. But that was kind of the first kind of downfall for our uprise of people suing companies for different fucking things.
That was wild.
Oh, she settled for 20 grand.
That's still good money for a cup of coffee.
So, well, it was reported at $3 million. So the reason why I brought up like maybe that didn't happen is because Papa Bear, who I did the balance exchange with, he recommended a book called Damage Control, and it's about like
I heard about that book.
It's actually really good. It's like how these like PR sort of companies like deal with damage control for corporations, and how a lot of these things that we hear about, they give like actual examples were like totally incorrect. Like remember back in the day when we heard about like the Coke bottles or the Cokes that had syringes in them, and everybody was worried about that shit.
Nope, I never heard.
You never heard about that shit? Probably you have, right? Yeah. So apparently, like that shit never, even though it affected them like deeply, Coke, it never happened. Like, and they literally caught the people that were putting them in the Coke cans, because they had people actually come out to the actual location. They're like, listen, it's impossible to get a syringe in these things. Like, watch how these things are produced. And they're just like, well, yeah, there isn't. And then they finally found videos of people actually putting syringes in the Coke bottles and cans, stuff like that.
There's another story that's similar to that is the Wendy's chili debacle that happened.
Yeah, that was in there too.
It actually happened here in the Bay Area. It happened down in San Jose where they found somebody's finger, and like they try to find out like they like did not DNA test, but they fingerprint the finger and try to find out who it belonged to, and they never figured out.
They did.
It actually turned out they did. Yeah,
it
turned out that the person put the finger in the chili to try to sue Wendy's, and that had huge repercussion for Chili's because like not for Chili's, for Wendy's, because people weren't eating at Wendy's anymore.
Yep.
Yeah, so you
Because of
missed
that.
actually part of like the whole story. So it wasn't. First of all, the lady that said that she had the finger in the chili, she scammed a whole bunch. She was like, she had a whole bunch of like serious issues of like suing people for like frivolous lawsuits and winning. And so they went through like her background. They're like, okay, this chick is doing like all this shady shit. So let's actually figure out what's going on. So the finger that she got was actually, it was from her husband's coworker because he was at work and his
That's
finger
what it
got
was.
cut off. And so the husband
Damn.
gave her the finger so that she could sue Wendy's over this. So that's the actual story. And that was actually in Damage Control as well. So
Oh man.
Damn.
It's fucking insane, man.
Yeah, I
But
remember
the-
they
but the damage to that-
because they did a huge like investigation into this because they wanted to clear their name quick. And when they found out she had planned that herself, she had access to a finger, and that was all bad. I was like, damn, this lady should go to jail for this, pretty much.
Yeah.
I don't know what she did.
Matt, I mean, I'm sure I walked away for a little bit, but Matt, Matt from Pre-Recorded Live had posted up how back in the day they used to use Elmer glue for people with mohawks to kind of keep their mohawks up. And I think I remember some people in high school using crazy glue to help keep their hair up.
probably not
So
crazy
it's-
glue.
It's
I mean,
nice and hard.
yeah, I wouldn't want to use crazy glue.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this: Elmer's glue in general is pretty weak. Like
Oh, yeah.
compared
Yeah.
to Gorilla Glue, it's a little bit stickier than like your own snot.
It tastes
But, like,
delicious
it's
though. I know
not-
that. I'm just saying.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like
Damn.
Elmer's glue ain't shit. It barely works for like arts and crafts for first graders and shit. You know what I mean? But yeah, you get it to crazy glue and gorilla glue, yeah, you're gonna have a problem, man. You know, clearly.
They're not
At least
using
with-
horse meat
with
for
Em-
Elmer's glue no more, or what?
I don't think they use the horses like they used to back in the day. You know, maybe that's why it ain't as sticky. They need more horse nut in there.
I think that well, it's collagen,
Oh,
right? So it
God.
has to be some kind of bones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, with Ember's glue, you just get it wet and that shit will just wash. You can wash it out with water, basically.
Easily, super
Easily.
easily.
And it doesn't do damage to your skin because I'm pretty sure everybody on this podcast put the Ember's glue in your hand and like rub it until it got dry so they can peel it off.
yeah, every elementary school in the fucking country has, first or second grader that's put Elmer's glue somewhere in their hair or in another classmate's hair or something or on their body.
Or ate it.
Yeah, or it fucking ate it. There was some other crazy allegation stuff dropping today. Did y'all see the stuff with Joss Whedon?
I saw
We were talking about it a
some.
little bit in the chat.
I saw some of it, but like the first thing that I read, it was just like when he. So apparently, there's allegations of like him having misconduct, and one of them that I read was about the woman that was pregnant, and then he asked if she was going to keep it, and I was like, I mean, that seems like an innocuous question to me. Like if you have an actor that's pregnant, you would want to know like, hey, are you gonna keep the baby because you're acting, and if you're acting, and this probably got to change the role or something like that, or make the character pregnant, or know if they need time off, shit like that. But I don't know the whole story behind that. Apparently, there's some other like really vague stuff that they didn't go into details with about how it was inappropriate. So was there like more details on that?
I saw a few more details in, I think it was the link that you posted, Old Ninja, but just at a super high level, this was for the set of either Buffy and or Angel, so this is back 15, 20 years ago almost.
Yeah.
Pregnant women certainly have additional workplace protections, and you can't just like, for example, you can't just, of course, fire someone for being pregnant or anything close to that. So some of that sounded illegal, but Old Ninja, I know you posted one of those articles. Did you?
So
did
hold
you wanna
on.
Go into
So I don't even know if it would be illegal. I mean, asking the question. I mean, the way he said it, if that's the way he said it, then I mean it's kind of rude. But also, like if you're a showrunner and you need to know, like, hey, what are we gonna do with the character? Maybe I'm giving the guy too much fucking leeway. But it's like, because I know that the character, they made her pregnant in the show, didn't they? So I mean, that would be a pretty important question to ask somebody. Like, hey, are you gonna be pregnant on the set? So.
Yeah, I wasn't there obviously, and so I'm trying to be careful. I just know for workplace now, as a manager, I don't know any place where you can say to your pregnant employee, "Are you going to keep that pregnancy?"
Yeah, I mean,
I don't.
like I
I
said,
don't know of any.
well,
Agreed.
it does sound like I
think-
said. I mean, it sounds kind of rude, but at the same time, it's like if somebody's announcing that they're pregnant. Actually, I would just assume like you're pregnant, and you're probably gonna stay that way. So yeah, fuck that.
Yeah.
Like if somebody would tell me
Yeah,
that they're
I'll-
pregnant, like I wouldn't think like, are you gonna keep it? I'd just be like, okay, you're pregnant, and let's plan around that. So yeah,
Yeah.
scrap what I just said.
That's probably for the best.
That's what I'd
So,
immediately go to.
yeah.
You can easily ask like, "What's your plans?" Like,
Yeah,
that's
there
kind
you
of
go.
an
Yeah.
open-ended question.
That is, but I still feel like you're hitting some into the dark area there. Granted, if you're announcing to people that you're pregnant, I would imagine your intention is to, because if
That's why I
everyone on
backtracked,
set
yeah.
knew that you're pregnant, that I would assume that you're going to keep the child. Because if you are not, you're not going to tell no one, "Hey, I'm going to have an abortion."
Exactly.
You're not going to announce that to everybody.
Well,
You're just going to keep that quiet.
According to every
between you
conservative,
and your
yeah, it is.
partner.
They have parties about it. What are you talking about?
That's all bad.
God damn.
So yeah, the thing was, so according to the article's posted by Variety, and this actress, she posted her story onto her Instagram. I can't think of her name, but she's one of the characters from Buffy, and she said she had a closed door meeting with Joss Whedon, and he had asked her about the baby and if she was going to keep it. They wrote her pregnancy into the show, but she was immediately fired after she had the baby. She said she felt as if, I guess there's more about her religion. So when he asked her if she's going to keep the baby, she felt like he was attacking her religion. She furthermore goes on that he mocked her religion, and he said other disparaging comments about her religion, which made her feel uncomfortable. There's just a lot of crazy, uncomfortable stuff. A lot of the other actresses from the show have basically said they support, anyone that is a survivor of abuse. So it was very vague when I first read it, but when she went into more details, which is on her Instagram, it sounded like he kind of singled her out a little bit, and she felt like it was because of her pregnancy. She felt like she needed to come out now because she was part of the Warner Brothers Media investigation team on Ray Fisher's allegations on Joss Whedon. So because she was a
Stemming
part
from
of that,
Justice League.
yes, from Justice League. So she was a part of that and felt like she needed to tell her part or her story involving Josh. So it's definitely not a good look. I'll tell you that much.
It's not a good look. I'm going to be fair-ish and say right now these are allegations. Nobody on this show is saying we were there and this is factually what happened.
Mhm.
But all of that being said, Whedon is big shit. Like, he did 2 Avengers movies. Obviously, he did Dollhouse and Buffy and Angel, and got a whole lot of other
Firefly.
nerd credentials.
Yeah.
Yeah, Firefly. I mean, he's got a lot of fucking hits under his belt. So I'm curious, are there other things floating around, maybe on the set of Age of Ultron, or maybe on the set of Firefly or Angel, that just haven't come to light, and this is the tip of the iceberg? Or is it
No idea.
just that these 2 people, maybe Ray Fisher, maybe, I can't remember this Buffy actress, where he's being accused of going way overboard in the possible abuse ground. You know what I mean? But I don't
so
know if there's more to this.
I'm gonna put her name out there because she's made this known. Her name is Charisma Carpenter.
Yeah.
That is her name. She was on Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel. So she put out several posts about what was going on back then.
What doesn't look very good is Sarah Michelle Gellar. She was Buffy, right?
Sarah Michelle Gellar. Why'd you say her last name all weird? Like you don't know how to pronounce Gellar?
Carpenter?
No. So Buffy was basically saying, yeah, hey, I support victims, but I don't want to necessarily be associated with the Whedon verse either. It was a real careful statement she released, and I was like, oh fucking shit, man. Some there's there's smoke here, and it's weird that both Ray Fisher, obviously the only black leading character from Justice League, and then this this woman who has allegations from when she was pregnant are the ones voicing some concerns on Joss Whedon. And Whedon is supposed to be known as this pretty feminist male director. Like, you know what I mean? Like that was his claim to fame.
Well, you know, I don't trust a whole lot of male feminists, so I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, these are in his words. He was all about, hey, female characters, blah blah blah, diversity, blah blah blah, and now you got a woman who's saying that you were extremely disrespectful and possibly going into some illegal treatment when she was pregnant, and you're only black male actor on a major movie. I don't know. We'll fucking see, man.
Yeah, we'll see.
Ooh, it's definitely not a good. It's not on this list, but I gotta ask Prodigy: have you seen this Britney Spears documentary that's causing some fire out there? Because her fandom is coming after all kinds of people, coming after Craig Ferguson, Justin Timberlake, other newscasters about what they saw in this documentary. Have you seen this? Because I believe it's on Hulu now.
I've not seen it yet. For those who don't know, I actually kind of dig Britney. Like when she was going through her shit back in 2007, I was like, God damn, she's had some very public breakdowns. If this is authorized by her, or this is like an unauthorized kind of documentary.
I believe this is like she's in it. Apparently,
well, I think it's her not stakeholders. What are the people who own your life basically?
Estate holders,
your caretakers.
No,
your manager, your agent.
No, it's not them. It's the person that owns her like estate or whatever.
Oh,
I can't remember. There's
Guardian.
Like a
I don't
name for
know.
that. No, it's not Guardian. Never mind. Well, yeah, it's basically the people who own her estate is the one that put this out.
So the funny, the weird thing is about this documentary coming out. Everybody's all surprised. I'm like, I'm not fucking surprised. Look at the first video that came out with Britney Spears. Like, look how much they sexualized. I think she was like a young teen, like a older teen.
She was
but
like
I didn't
16.
know she wasn't even like 18 yet. And they have her in these fucking schoolgirl outfits with like I'm like, dude, this is a 16-year-old. Like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, they made her a sex symbol at the age of 16. It was fucking gross. And actually, me and Kim were talking about it. It's like, they do the same thing with some dudes too. Like, look at Chris Brown. When he was 15 years old, he was making songs about fucking chicks, like older women. I'm just like, that's fucking gross too. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, why are we sexualizing they're kids. They're still kids at the time. And then you wonder why when they grow up, they're all fucked up. I mean, because you basically you put them on this pedestal for sexuality when they're underage, and you wonder why they're all fucked up as adults. It's like, no shit.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of truth to that. There's a whole history of it, not just with music, but even with like teen heartthrobs on like shows even. You know what I mean? Like, look, when Zach Morris was a teenager, he was getting a whole lot of pussy calls, all over the place as well. You know what I mean? And he was super sexualized in a way too.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Aaliyah was another one.
Oh
Jesus.
that shit
Yeah,
pissed me
it's
off.
getting fucked by R. Kelly's disgusting ass. Making songs about
Yeah.
it.
To him.
Yeah.
Even like a lot of like female groups too, they're that way. They're over sexualized. Like I know for example, like oh god, what's the name of that group? Fifth Harmony. Fifth Harmony. Some of the singers came out and talked about how they were over sexualized for their age. Because I think when they first got together, they were like 16, 17, but like they were shaking their asses and stuff like that. But it sucks that that's how Hollywood works with with if you want record sales, you gotta have that sex appeal.
And I'm okay with adults. I really am. I mean,
Yeah.
I think adults are a whole different ballgame.
Yeah.
When you're talking about high school teens, you got to be real fucking careful. And yeah, I mean, Brittany had a whole lot of problems, even into her young adulthood and whatnot. But I'm interested in this documentary. If you say it's on Hulu?
I believe so. Yes, it's the first thing that popped up when I logged in. I was like, oh.
I'm down to check that fucking shit out, man.
Just talking about. So
Yeah, I've been hearing like good reviews, and I hear that like watching it, you're gonna feel super bad for Brittany, and you're gonna want to rescue her.
I don't want to rescue her.
Oh, yeah, I don't know about all that. I ain't
She got
saving
way more
nobody.
resources than I do. I might feel bad for her, but I definitely ain't rescuing her.
Well, I mean, she might have all those resources, but she has no control over those resources, which is kind of sad.
Guess what? Neither do I.
Yeah, hopefully they tell the story of how she lost control of those things, because she did have some issues.
It looks like the show's called "Framing Britney Spears: The Long Fight to Free Britney."
I don't know. Did we actually talk about? Maybe we talked about this last week. So stop me if we did. Did we talk about the Borderlands fucking casting?
No, because there was
There's
new
new ones, yeah.
information literally today.
Go ahead, Old Ninja, or somebody.
So we found out today that there's continued casting for Borderlands movies. So for now, we have Kate Blanchett as Lilith. We have Kevin Hart as Roland. And then just announced we have Jamie Lee Curtis as Tannis. Or Dr. Is it Amelia Tannis?
I just call it Tannis, Dr. Tannis.
Yeah, she's Dr. Tannis. So a lot of people are still talking about it. So this film will be directed by Eli Roth. So it's kind of weird because he's mostly known for horror films. I mean, he does do some acting gigs because he's in Inglourious Bastards and a couple other films like Aftershock and whatnot. So this is going to be kind of strange seeing this video game adaptation from a fairly popular director.
Yeah.
I mean, there's already saltiness about Kevin Hart portraying Roland because he's not really the physicality of it, and nobody knows how he's going to like portray this character because Roland's kind of a badass, at least in Borderlands 2. So.
Yeah,
well, and he's
definitely a badass.
He's
And
tall.
he's taller than Lilith. Yeah. He's taller than Lilith, and Kate Blanchett is taller than Kevin Hart, so it's going to be interesting. Unless they read that part out where they're not a couple.
Like maybe they might CGI him or something. I don't know, but he's
They could.
not a big dude. I mean, I'm not
No.
making fun of him because he's small, but I mean, everybody knows that he's like not the average height for a man.
Well, they
So-
can do like they did in Thor for that one guy who was like a midget giant.
You mean
made
with
the
Peter
God
Dinklage?
Smasher?
Ah,
Yeah.
but it's gonna
Infinity War.
that's gonna be fucking weird though, because we all know like how big he is, so it's gonna be fucking weird.
Well, it's weird for that.
It was weird. Yeah.
Yeah,
So we shall see.
I like the Jamie Lee Curtis as Tannis. I think that kind of works. I'm
Yeah,
cautiously optimistic about that one.
I'm with it.
Yeah, Kevin Hart. This one bothers me with Kevin Hart because the other thing about Roland was he wasn't fucking funny.
Yeah. No.
Like Claptrap was funny, obviously.
Yeah.
And several other characters in there. There's a whole bunch of comedic characters, and so, I mean, that's a drastic change for Roland. I don't know. It's all going to depend on the writing. And is Eli doing the writing and directing, or is he just doing the directing?
That part I do not know.
But
still-
Borderlands is a hard game to try to make a movie off of. I mean, there's a lot of content and stuff there, but like, it's pretty much a shoot 'em up, smash 'em game. Like, there's not much of a like an in-hard, deep telling of a story going on, other than like Handsome Jack fucking shit up.
Yeah. I mean, there is a story.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, was that what you were gonna say, Prodigy? It was like.
I was actually going to say we have parts of Borderlands in Mad Max Fury Road. You know what I mean? Like that's the desert kind of wasteland aspect and survival and shoot 'em up stuff and even vehicle stuff that I would love to see. If you're not going to give us something on par with Mad Max Fury Road, which was great, of course, then maybe this doesn't need to get made.
Well, I
Go
think
ahead.
so. Blue, you've only played like how many Borderlands? Like all of them, or?
Yeah, I played all of them, all three.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, there's a story there, definitely. It's
Yeah,
better
yeah.
than Halo, so it's way more coherent. I'm just saying, it's not the
Yeah,
best
like, I
story,
know-
but it's way more coherent.
Yeah, with all the Borderland games, I just like I just look at it for being like a shoot 'em up game. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
I know there's stories. There's like bosses and stuff you fight, and they all have like their little backstories and like Tiny Tina and this and that. Like, there's character development, but I just can't see how they can make a movie off of it.
I guess we'll see. I mean, there's a whole thing about the sirens and the vault and the the
Yeah.
Iridians and all that shit. I mean, they can make a story out of it. It's just but yeah, I mean, mostly it's just fun shoot 'em up game. But yeah, I played all of them, so I'll probably put like easily probably like 2,000 hours in all the games. So
Did you ever check out the Telltale
Probably more than
one of them?
a little bit, and they're bringing it back. So with
Yeah.
the director's cut, they're bringing back because it was gone for a while because the studio shut down.
Oh wow, okay.
Remember when they shut down? What was it? Telltale Games.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're bringing it
Yeah.
back, which is good.
I thought from a purely story standpoint, and this is painfully obvious, but the Telltale one to me had the best like complete story from start to finish, and a lot of newer characters that I really loved.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, 2 and 3 were just fucking masterpieces. So don't ruin this. Don't fuck it up, please, Eli.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll fucking see.
I mean, it's
Hey,
it's a low bar anyway. I mean, you're making a video game movie. The bar is very low.
This is true. This is
Yeah.
true.
So the word I
what
was
were you gonna say, Bill?
no, I was gonna say the word I was looking for earlier for Britney Spears is her conservatorship. Conservatorship?
Conservatorship?
Yeah, those are the ones who I believe created the Free Britney documentary.
Okay.
That proved it.
Okay.
I
We
think.
will...
I need to confirm on that, but yeah, I just want to bring that back up.
Good shit. Did you see the Keanu Reeves news?
I did, but I didn't see confirmation.
That's what. I was hoping maybe you can look it up, but like the rumor mill was going that Sony had offered the role of Kraven. I think even in a solo Kraven movie, and obviously Kraven the villain in Marvel Comics, mostly of Spider-Man.
I mean,
Right?
we'll see. Because I mean, remember earlier today we had. Well, we'll talk about it later, but like the casting about Joel in Last of Us literally changed within like a couple of hours.
We
touched
talked
upon that.
about it.
Oh, we did. Oh, you did already? Okay, my bad. I was
Yeah.
trying to fix it.
No worries.
Yeah, I don't see any like
There's no
confirmations.
concrete-
Yeah, it just says
It's still
Yeah.
rumor mill. It's still
Yeah.
rumor then.
Like everything that says that he was offered it, but yeah, it's still.
Yeah, and
Because
then
I
was
also see that that the dude from The Boys was offered the role too.
Carl
Yeah,
Urban would
Carl.
probably be better fit.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see him be Wolverine
Carl
in
Urban.
the MCU. Yeah,
Urban, cool too, yeah.
he's
want
really
a
tall.
This is where we get the reverse of Kevin Hart. I actually want a shorter Wolverine, a short, stocky Wolverine
Yeah.
with a fucking Canadian accent would be awesome to me. But for Craven, I mean, I like Carl Urban a lot. Don't get me wrong, but he was already in like some Thor movies too, in terms of the MCU. But I want to see for Craven someone kind of a little bit like Pedro Pascal, actually, maybe with some muscle behind him, or even a Tom Hardy with I think that they could do it.
They're like
quite
average. They're not short.
Well, for the Craven role, I don't think.
Oh,
he
for
has to
Craven.
be-
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about
Yeah.
Wolverine still. My bad.
Yeah, for Craven, I think he could be just average height.
Oh.
Most importantly, Craven's got to have some fucking wild ass tiger print fucking costume. Like his
Yeah.
costume needs to be fucking out there.
Yeah.
you know who would be a great Craven is oh god, Jason Momoa.
Yeah,
Like
that's
he
good.
kind of has that look and like that body build type. Like I can see him being that. Like, and he can make a jump from the DCU to the MCU.
That could work.
Yeah.
That could work fucking hard.
Ryan Reynolds did it.
He did. I forgot about that. He was fucking Green Lantern.
Wait,
he
and-
wants us to forget.
I was gonna say also the guy who played Steve Rogers, but no, he was Johnny Storm.
Oh, yeah,
Ryan
yeah.
Reynolds he's been in the MCU more, or he's been in Marvel movies more than once. I mean, he was in Blade Trinity. So
That's true. He wasn't.
Right.
Like,
I fucking forgot.
kind of the
Yeah,
kind of the
Chris
worst one,
Hannibal.
but I still liked it.
Yeah, it was pretty.
it was
bad.
it was the third one when they had Dracula.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. I mean, I liked everybody in it, but the whole story kind of fell apart for me. For Blade Trinity, I was like,
It was always weird, like getting Blade movies and no Morbius. I was just like, are you serious? Like you're not gonna have the #1 villain? Like what the fuck?
That's so important.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Like they fucking fumbled that. Maybe it was a rights issue. I don't fucking know. But now we got like a Morbius solo movie, and even for that, I'm kind of scratching my head because I'm like,
Yeah, I don't get
I didn't really ask for this. Like,
I mean, but nobody asked for
Yeah.
Venom either, and that did great. So
well, I mean, I wanted Venom. I think people wanted him. I think we wanted him more in the like with Spidey there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I think the
What do you
character
think?
we wanted.
Well, yeah, the character, yes, but like the way that they were like, okay, but there's gonna be no Spider-Man, and he's not gonna have a
Yeah.
spider suit. And then I was like, okay, this movie's gonna do garbage. And then it fucking blew up overseas. I was like, oh, and it wasn't bad. You know, I mean, it
No.
wasn't great, but it wasn't bad.
Yeah, true.
The same thing had happened to Morbius. I mean, I kind of doubt it, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I think that movie's probably even in the can along with Venom too.
It
And it
is.
just
It's already
got
made.
caught up in
Yeah,
2020.
it was so it was supposed to come out last summer. It got pushed back to this summer, and I heard they pushed it back again. So could be a minute before we see it.
Well, did we get a trailer for Venom 2? Like, didn't they release a trailer for it, or was it like a teaser or something?
I think
I
a
haven't seen
teaser because I haven't seen a
anything.
trailer.
Oh, I think
I haven't
so.
seen anything.
Yeah, man.
Nothing
So,
remotely close.
I mean,
Or maybe it could have been fan made too. That's also a problem.
Oh, that's true.
were there any trailers from? Obviously, we already talked about Winter Soldier and Falcon, but were there any trailers from the Super Bowl that you guys were impressed with?
I didn't watch the
it.
Super Bowl.
I only watched part of it. I keep hearing about M. Night Shyamalan has a new movie called Old, I guess.
Oh yeah, it looks
people
dumb as
saying-
fuck.
I didn't see the trailer, but people were talking about it, so
So I actually saw the trailer today, and basically, there's like a family. They get stranded on this beach, and for some reason, they start to age. Like, there's this kid who's 6, then all of a sudden he's 16, and like the mom's like, "Where's my son? Where's my son?" And the kid's like, "Mom, I'm right here." He's like, "You're not my son." He's like, "Oh, Mom, I'm older now." It's like, what the fuck is going on? Like, it doesn't make any kind of goddamn sense. At least from the trailer. Maybe it might be good when it comes out, but like the trailer had me like, what the fuck am I watching?
Look,
I didn't think it was real.
I've never done as hard of a 180 on a director as I have with M. Night Shyamalan. I loved Sixth Sense. I even liked Signs quite a bit.
Lady in the
With
Water was
Alien.
really good too.
I didn't see that one, but all the other ones that I saw besides those couple, I was just and the first one with Mr. Glass.
Oh,
Wasn't that
Unbreakable.
in that-
Unbreakable.
Unbreakable. The first one I did dig, but a whole lot of fucking duds. And I don't get excited about him doing another movie. I really fucking don't.
He
Yeah,
fucked
I'm
up
not
that
gonna get on
far.
board.
Yeah, I was not about Unbreakable because when it got to the end of the movie, I thought it was the middle. I'm like, where's the rest of this fucking film? And then, watching Split and Glass, I was actually kind of okay with those. Like, I really like Split. Glass, I felt ended kind of like unsatisfactory.
Are those movies like a loose trilogy, or are they like truly hard in canon? You see the same characters.
Oh yeah, no,
throughout?
they're truly linked together. Like
Okay.
literally, they're in what is it? Glass. Glass uses deleted scenes from Unbreakable as flashbacks.
Oh,
So I
wow.
was like, oh, that's interesting. And then, because the only thing that links Split to the other two is to Unbreakable is you see Bruce Willis's character at the very end. It's literally like a Marvel style after credits, and they're talking about Samuel L. Jackson's character, and then you see Bruce Willis in the frame, and he calls out the name of what they called this villain, and then Glass brings them all together. So
Okay. I'll have to sit down with them and fucking at least try the other two. I
yeah,
haven't seen either one.
Split was actually pretty good. I actually was impressed by that one, and that's the one that everyone's like, "Oh, this is his comeback film." And when you see Glass, you're just like, he tried.
Didn't he do Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Yes.
So yeah,
Oh,
Is that him?
yeah. So
Yeah, that was him.
Yes.
fuck that dude.
Oh,
I mean, come on. They couldn't even get the main character's
How-
name right. I mean,
how is he still directing?
yeah, seriously. How do you fuck up the main character's name? His name was Aang, not Ong. Listen, if the original show wasn't in English, then maybe you'd have some fucking credence there to like take some fucking liberties. But no, the shit was made in English, and his name is clearly Aang. Like, what the fuck?
That hurt. That
Yeah.
hurt bad, man. That was awful. Fuck. Kronos, are you still playing Control? Did you ever give like a first impressions?
Yeah, I'm playing it. I'm not too terribly far in it. But yeah, I'm playing it. I like it. It's fucking creepy as shit. But it's definitely enjoyable. It's kind of a weird game to play because, how do I put like you have to like run and gun a lot in the game because when you kill things, they drop like basically health. And so if you're just used to kind of like ducking or like having your health regen and shit like that, like you're gonna fuck this whole game up. Like you're not gonna have a good time. You're gonna get shot the fuck up. But if you just constantly move around and like use like motion and all your abilities together, like it's fun until you hit certain bosses. Like there was like the first boss in the goddamn game, I hit and this motherfucker destroyed me like 10 times in a row, and I'm like, what is going on here? Like why am I not winning? And then like I was like, oh, all I have to do is duck. All I have to do is duck behind something and then just shoot this dude in the face and I'll be fine. But it was like a stark departure from like how the game normally plays. They have some kind of cool hidden elements in the game. Like you have to basically find upgrades, and sometimes they're not like there's shit that you can definitely miss, and there's significant gameplay changers. Like I found this whole like secret area where like I got like this dash thing, but it was super easy to fucking miss. Like you could easily just pass it by and just do something else. And I guess there's like other shit like that too, where you can like not unlock these powers if you don't find them. So it's kind of an interesting game, especially because it like breaks the fourth wall all the time. Because basically like the main character talks to you like in her mind, like to you, like the player.
The player.
Yeah.
Can you backtrack, or is it so linear that you can't backtrack if you miss something?
No, this is like Metroidvania, really. I mean,
Oh,
so you can backtrack all you want, and like you have to get like these key cards, so like everything is like kind of locked, and you have to basically progress your way around things. So in that aspect, I really like it. And they also fuck around with time and space in the game, because there's like places where you go to where like the space that you're in is not like could not possibly physically be contained in like where you are. So like you walk into a room and all of a sudden it's like this gigantic thing, but then like when you leave it's like not, there's no way they could fit inside that space. And there's other things to where like you have to like fuck around with like turning lights on and off, and then shit changes and it's all fucking creepy and shit. So yeah, it's it's hard to explain as you play the game, but it's really fucking weird. But it's but it's fun.
Yeah, it is definitely hard to explain the game, but the closest I can say is like it feels like you're in an X-Files case in a giant building, because it looks like it looks like the FBI building, but the building it feels kind of limitless. And then like I guess if you've ever played, was it Silent Hill The Room, where you are stuck in a room but you can enter in like paintings and stuff, and it opens up a whole new world. Some of the rooms in there are kind of like that. It's just really creepy. It's, even though it's really well made, there's still like a story that holds it all together. It's weird to me, like the people that work there, they're not super phased by what's going on, and like your character makes comments on that. They're like, why isn't this person freaking out about like creatures coming out and like people being possessed? It's like super crazy. I finally finished it, and like it was super crazy. Like they do a fake out towards the end. It was just so much craziness happening in this game. I really enjoyed it though, because like Cronus said, it's super easy to miss stuff because you can beat the game and not be max level.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like weird. I mean, if you want, you could be max level. It will help you definitely beat the game. But there's a whole boss battle that I couldn't beat, and I kind of skipped it, and I was planning on going back, but I kept going forward through the mission, realizing I beat the game. But it allows you to go back and finish whatever you need to. So it's super weird.
What's weird is that the game also fucks with you. Like there's this character, he's a janitor, and every time he talks, I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? I was like, did I take some like fucking LSD or something? Because he'll talk in English sometimes, and other times it's like some really weird fucking language I can't understand. And at first I was like, am I just like losing it here? Like what the fuck is going on? And then like I kept talking to him, and I'm just like, okay, he's definitely speaking some things in English and other things in some other language that it's not even like, it doesn't make any fucking sense at all, like what he's saying. And then like at one point she's just like, I don't know what he's saying. I'm like, thanks, bitch, neither do I. I'm like, I'm not fucking crazy. You know, I'm like,
do you play with subtitles on?
No, but I think even if I had subtitles on, I think it would just say like some crazy random shit. Because it sounds like it's close enough to sound like English that you should understand what he's saying, but you can't. It's like really fucking weird. I don't know how they did it, but it was just like it made me feel like I was going fucking crazy because I couldn't understand it. Especially when he would like just toss in random words and like he would get his point across of like what he wanted you to do, but then like you could only understand like maybe like 30% of what he's saying, and then like
So weird.
but the other stuff that he's saying is like so close to like English that you don't know if like so you're trying to like really understand like what he's saying, but you can't. And it took me a long time to understand that he's not speaking English.
Yeah, the game is a trip and a half. It is a definite mindfuck.
But you liked it though, old ninja.
Oh yeah, this game is
Okay.
spectacular, and it is creepy as fuck. Playing it with headphones on will probably fuck with you for like a day or so.
Damn.
But it's super crazy. It's extremely challenging. It's like Cronus says, like you could be fighting, and like not realize that you could change your tactics up, and it'll change the way that you fight completely. And it's like super weird. Like there are things you're like, oh, I'm gonna use this most powerful weapon and take this dude out, and that's not how you beat them. Even though you're taking off damage, there's still other enemies that are coming at you, and you need to deal with them. So you got to kind of change how you play in order to get to your end game. It's hard to explain unless you're actually doing it, but
And there's definitely
it's
enough
super
like,
weird.
especially at least where I'm in the game, there's like definite different variety types of enemies that make it interesting.
Okay.
Because in the beginning, it's just like kind of like humdrum enemies. Like yeah, they're pretty easy to kill. Then you got guys with shields. Then you got flying fucking dudes. Then you got flying dudes that explode and shit. I'm just like, all right. So when they start throwing like combinations of enemies at you, you're just like, all right, you got to really take your time and account for the changes in enemy types because. Like once you have like armored enemies coming at you, and then you got the flying ones coming at you that can explode. It's like you got to know when to retreat and when not to. So, yeah, and which powers to use on them. Because some of the powers are fucking worthless on some enemies. So,
I'm gonna try this one. You guys make it sound interesting enough. I don't know if I'm gonna like it, but if it's free, I'll give it a shot.
yeah, definitely give it a shot. It's definitely
Yeah.
worth playing. It's fucking weird. You'll see.
It's weird, but it's weird in a good way. I mean, I feel like it does have like that X-Files and Resident Evil type thing, but you have Jedi-like powers, which is weird, and you can unlock more, and then like you just go to town and stuff. But there is some slight puzzle stuff, not like major, but there's some puzzle stuff you'll need to figure it out. And if you're having a hard time, your character will say something. They'll be like, hey, maybe I should try this, or maybe there's something I'm missing. I need to look over in this area. So it's
Are
pretty
the puzzles like Resident Evil or like maybe
No.
Uncharted?
Yeah, I would say more like Tomb Raider, Uncharted style,
Okay.
like that.
And
Some-
this game is still free on the PSN network, right?
It's free for the whole month. Yeah, and it's the Ultimate Edition, so you're getting like everything. Prodigy might have some problems. There's light platforming, so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's super platform. There's like a couple areas where you'll have to like kind of fly to or platform, I guess, to, but it's not super tough.
Do they have a grappling hook or something?
No.
But you can fly. You can levitate, I should say.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, but you got to get to that point though. Like there was like
Yes,
one.
yeah.
There's one power that I got. I forget which one it was, but like literally you had to get it. You got it after like doing like an obstacle course, and it's just like it was hard as fuck at first. I was like, how do you do these things? And like it took me a while to get it, and I beat it by like a couple of seconds to spare. But it's like if you're not good with like obstacle courses, like think about like in Call of Duty when you do like the obstacle course thing, like basically
Oh,
they,
yeah.
they have the equivalent of that in the game, but it's like it's not. It's like out of the way, you know what I mean? Like you don't have to do it at all, but if you beat it, you get an extra power. So it's just like, oh, that's kind of cool.
And it's
Yeah.
timed. The Call of Duty ones are always timed,
Yeah, it's timed.
right.
Yep, it's
Okay,
totally
yeah.
timed, and it's super easy to fail because I failed it probably 5 or 6 times until I got the hang of it. Because it's like you have to like run and gun, and then use like this telekinesis power, and yeah, know what to hit and what not to. It's frustrating, but you get some cool shit at the end.
Mm-hmm.
But it's optional.
Good
Yeah,
shit.
there's a lot of boss fights that I was frustrated with, and when I changed up how I fight, it became much more manageable. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
makes you think.
you got to pay attention to your surroundings too, because like those exploding enemies, they don't make a whole lot of sound until they're about to blow up. and they're probably right next to you, which
Yeah,
is all
yeah.
bad.
God damn. Are y'all? I know we've talked about it for a long time here, but are y'all gonna even been paying attention to this Justice League? I guess screenshots and leaks and stuff with Leto and Steppenwolf.
No, no. I mean, I'm not paying attention.
Is this worthy of attention? Yeah.
No, to me, no. I mean, listen, he had a fucking chance. You remaking a whole movie from like table scraps. It wasn't great to begin with. I mean, you can blame it on Joss Whedon if you want. I don't, because it's the same bullshit. Fucking, I keep saying it's the same all the time. The way that they write these movies are terrible. The continuity is terrible. They use the same tired fucking washed out color palette. Um, they're not good movies. And the fact that they let this dude play with house money again to remake these things, and they still look terrible. I looked at the preview, the trailers and shit. It looks just as bad as the first ones. So I don't understand why. And now they're changing the way that Jared Leto looks. I guess, but guess what? He was terrible in the fucking other movie too. So like, you bringing him to this one doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know why people are even hyped for it, as if like the first ones were that good. I've never seen a remake that I can think of off the top of my head that made a significant improvement on the original, especially when like you're taking the same basic premise and you're just adding on to it. Listen, Zack Snyder is not fucking Peter Jackson. Like, you trying to get me to sit down for a 3-hour long goddamn Justice League movie is insane from a subpar director. So those are my honest thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't feel it was what 4 years ago now. Wasn't it 2017?
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the actors have changed. They've moved on and all that. I don't know. I because I already got HBO Max. I may, if nothing else is literally on that weekend, I may peep my head in just so I can give a good review, a review of some sort the next week. But I got low expectations for this still. I really do.
I mean, it'll be free,
bro?
right? It's free, right, for HBO Max?
Oh, it better be.
Yeah,
Perfect
better be.
price.
It's
Perfect
free on
price.
HBO
Oh,
Max.
sorry. This is the OK symbol, not the white power symbol. Perfect price is in OK. All right.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Blue?
No, I was gonna say it's like it's really hard to like, because the original movie, like, it was. I mean, I thought it was decent, and for them to add all these features to try to make it make more sense, it's like you had your shot, you blew it. You can't like go back and undo it. Like, the shit's fucked up. But like, I'm kind of interested to see what's gonna be added, what's gonna be different, because when I did watch the director's cut, or like the extended scenes, like, it kind of made sense what exactly was going on, because there was a lot of shit. It was like, okay, why is Lex? How does Lex even know all these characters? Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, there were so many fucking plot holes that were left out, but the extended cut kind of filled in some of them, but it didn't answer a lot of the questions. But I don't know. Just this Justice League movie just doesn't. It didn't make sense to begin with. They rushed it, and I feel like they're trying to go back and fix it. But they're rushing content that they should have fucking just went back and build up on the stories of all the characters.
Just make a new, better movie. It's like they're making the worst possible Frankenstein's monster ever. They've already reshot these movies. Like, why they I've never seen a movie get reshot twice, like, for real, and re-released.
Especially one that did not do well. Even of the DCEU, this is one of the lowest grossing
Yeah.
ones. You know what I mean? It didn't make as much as Beavis, you know? It certainly didn't make as much as Aquaman or Wonder Woman, the first Wonder Woman. So, I don't know. What you got on this, old ninja?
I mean, I'm interested in seeing this, but you have to set aside 4 hours. 4 hours to watch.
Oh,
I
it's
mean,
4 hours
the
now?
good thing is that you can watch
Yeah.
it and pause it and stop and then come
fucking-
back to it or whatnot. But if you're trying to watch it in one go, it's a 4-hour flick. Probably 4 hour and 10 minutes, I think.
Yeah, they're like, originally they were gonna break it up into like a series, but they
yeah.
decided to have it all together.
All in one go. So, I mean, it comes out on the 18th of March, and I'm going to watch it just so I can give my thoughts. I mean, I'm not exactly excited for it. I just want to see what the changes are and if it's really going to be a totally different film. I know Darkseid's going to be in this film, and there's going to be some other stuff happening. So, You know, I'm not expecting like this is going to be masterful, but I'm hoping it's going to be entertaining. I mean, I'm kind of like whatever about it. I'm not like, oh my god, like the Snyder Cut's gonna change everything. Snyder Cut's gonna challenge the MCU. I'm just like, oh, I'm just gonna watch it because I happen to like Zack Snyder. I mean, I know that Sucker Punch was kind of shitty, but it's like a guilty pleasure for me, and I enjoyed it. I'm hoping to enjoy this too, but I don't expect this to be. I don't expect to be wowed. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, I was excited about Justice League before it dropped. I was like, okay, maybe this is gonna be something. You know what I mean? You got, all of these characters that are iconic and we've known for all of our lives, and
Yeah.
some of them date back to the fucking 30s and 40s. But
Well,
Jesus, I don't think this is gonna work.
it
Go
was
ahead.
interesting because when I first saw the trailer for Justice League, like I was giving shit about Cyborg. I was like, this isn't my Cyborg. He looks horrible. Like this looks really fucking bad. But then when I started watching the movie, Cyborg is like my favorite character in the whole entire fucking franchise. At least, sorry,
Really?
not franchise. In this movie, like I think Cyborg looked cool, even though he was like mainly CGI. But everything else, like the way Ben Affleck portrayed Batman, and like it just didn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, I'm with y'all, man. Uh, the To me, the saddest thing though is like the super duper Snyder fanboys who aren't just DC fans. They're like fans of Snyder. Basically, Warner Brothers bent over and said, "Here you go. We're going to throw money at this and give y'all the red meat that you've been clamoring for all these fucking years."
Yeah, and
Um,
I will say them doing that for Snyder because he left the project due to a death in his family, and for him to revisit it and come back, I give them a little bit of credit for that. Let them come back because literally he was in the middle of production and someone else came in and changed everything up.
what
So them giving him the opportunity to come back and make his original vision, I'm interested in seeing.
I I'm on the opposite side of you, old ninja, on this one. And I know this is like an old issue from 4 years ago, but to me, what would have been the most respectful thing at the time is saying, our director had a family emergency. We're going to halt production on this or suspend it. Give him time, with his family, and then redo the production or the shootings and release the movie of his later on. But like
Yeah.
they rushed
Uh,
everything with throwing Whedon in there.
Yeah, so I mean, that being said, if that was the case, then we wouldn't have got Patty Jenkins Wonder Woman. We wouldn't have got James Wan's Aquaman because they were on a schedule. They're on a time schedule. They needed them to be elsewhere. So I don't see that realistically happening because of that. So I mean, I hear you about the respect because I think that would have been just as respectful, but because they're on his schedule and they had other productions that they invested money into, that wasn't going to work. So for them to come back and give him his just desserts, as they say, I think that's actually admirable for Warner Brothers because this is super unheard of. I mean, I
Yeah, it's
understand
rare.
like
Yeah.
director's cuts one thing, but this is like a whole separate thing, something totally different.
I
So,
mean, they're marketing this as basically one of the bigger Warner Brothers premieres of the spring. You know?
oh yeah, yeah. I mean, and it is. I mean, there was enough loud people about the Snyder Cut. Even Jason Momoa was on there. Even some. I think Gal Gadot was even on the Snyder Cut bandwagon. So, I mean,
Of course
if
they
they're
were. That's
about
a
it,
fucking
they're
paycheck.
about about it.
Like no shit.
Well, so I mean, well, they already got paid though. That's the thing. So
I mean, they're gonna get paid again though. I mean, obviously they're going in for
Exactly.
reshoots and they're still getting residuals. Like they're getting paid off of this.
So that's why I'm interested in seeing. There's a lot kind of riding on this. I mean, we don't have to see this in the theaters. You can watch this in the comfort of your own home. So
Yeah.
another plus.
I also will say this too. I haven't forgotten about how publicly pouty, fucking Leto was about Joaquin's Joker and how he felt, you know, Joker was taken from him, and and when the Suicide Squad movie released, he was like, "Oh, my scenes got taken away, and fuck Warner Brothers, and I ain't working with them." And I don't know, man. There just seems like there's a lot of fucking drama. around this.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Jared Leto being mad about the whole Joker. I mean, I get it, I guess, but I mean, to be honest, like your version of the Joker was not the best.
No.
So I don't think anybody's even the fucking top three is Jared Leto's Joker, unless you're fucking what less than 20 years old, maybe. But honestly, his version of the Joker was horrific. I mean, and the one that they're coming out with now, it looks different, but I'm like, but it's still Jared Leto. You know what I mean? Is he still doing this weird like strange laugh? I don't. The thing that I don't like about Zack Snyder's version of like the DCU is I don't think he understands like the actual characters in DC that he's actually writing for and he's actually directing for. Like, yeah, Batman killing people. It's like, motherfucker, his number one rule is don't kill people. And he's literally shooting people with guns. Like, guns that are on his fucking airplane, guns that are on his fucking tank. It's like, this is like the number one thing that he does not do, as his creed. And it's just normal in these movies. And I don't think he gets it. And he's never going to get it. And I think that we're going to see more Batman killings in the remaster, and it's gonna be fucking even more silly. They're gonna have more stupid shit that doesn't make any sense. But they'll have cool CGI, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, Batman being a good detective and Superman being a really good reporter actually are important.
Yeah.
Like,
and Superman keeping his identity hidden, so like, he does it so he can protect other people. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. But then back to the whole Batman thing too. It's like, at this version of Batman is an older Batman who's been through some shit, so he's kind of more on the about to retired side. And like, you can't have a Justice League with an old Batman. You need to have like everybody kind of around the same age, kind of working together. You need them in their prime, basically. And the Batman that they presented in this one wasn't that Batman.
Well, if it was like if we had said, "Hey, it's Thomas Wayne Batman," I'm like, "Okay, gotcha, all good."
Oh yeah,
but it's pretty fucking. It's pretty rare that Batman. I mean, he's killed obviously a couple times in the past, but it's pretty rare, and it's definitely and he feels bad about it. He doesn't fly a bat fucking whatever airplane and strafe a building and just blow everybody away with a gun and be like, "Oh, I'm good." He doesn't feel bad at all. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean. For me, the biggest crime is still always going to be Ezra Flash. I can't get Ezra Flash, man. Like he did not act like Barry Allen.
Mm-mm.
He seemed all neurotic. Maybe this will explain it, but he has this suit that costs millions and millions of dollars. You know what I mean? It's just nothing about Flash worked for me at all.
He doesn't.
That part didn't make any fucking sense. That whole I have this tech suit, but I don't like to run fast. It's like, why the fuck do you have this suit then? If you don't plan on saving people.
This is another thing. People and run.
Yeah, this is another thing.
I don't want to protect people with the my gift of the Speed Force.
This goes back to Zack Snyder. He doesn't the Flash isn't even a fucking hero in these movies. He's not a hero. Yeah. He's just some guy that happens to run fast. He does zero heroic shit. Like, he has to be convinced to do... Our hero does what's right without being told. That's the point of a hero. But he's not like that in any of these movies.
I think that's what I liked about Cyborg's character, because I think he was the only one that had a backstory, because we got to see his dad, like, fucking around with the mother box, and the mother box taking over his body, and that's how he becomes Cyborg. With the Flash, we don't fucking know. With Aquaman, we didn't know that until the Aquaman movie came out, that, his dad slept with the mom. Wonder Woman, we didn't know her backstory until Wonder Woman came out. So, like, Cyborg only one had a backstory in that movie.
Well, because
I think Wonder Woman had dropped before this, earlier that same year, I think.
Okay, yeah.
Wonder Woman came out that summer of Justice League.
Well, the DCU, they missed a huge thing. They tried to do what Marvel did, but they fucked it all up. What Marvel did is they created all these separate characters first, all these movies, so you get all their backstories. Then they made the huge ensemble movie, the Avengers. And it was fucking awesome. But what the DCEU did, and I'm not blaming this all on Zack Snyder because it's not all his fault, but they had all these characters that were in, the Justice League. They all are pretty serious characters when it comes to, the DCEU. And they only gave you backstory on like a handful of them, and the other ones, they gave you the backstory kind of after the movie came out. And it's like, well, you could have built up more into that. I think that's one of the main reasons why the movie didn't do so well, is because you have these sort of ancillary characters where they gave either no backstory or very little backstory at all. And it's like, why do I give a shit about them? And like you said, I mean, Ezra Miller being the Flash is a prime example. Like, nobody knew about this guy. Nobody knew about his background. You know, he's supposed to be a detective too, but he doesn't detect shit in the whole movie.
It's like he's a homeless guy living in his fucking mom's basement.
He's supposed to be up there with Batman as far as being a detective. But in this movie, you would never even guess that he was a fucking CSI investigator.
Nope. Not at all. Yeah, man. So, low expectations for certain. Do we have any B's and B's?
I feel like we should talk about something positive after this. We just shit all over.
Actually, I had a B then BTI question for you guys. So the other day, this is just gonna be fucking weird. The other day, I tried making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and I tried using a butter knife to make one, and I couldn't fucking do it. Like, it was impossible for me to spread the fucking jelly or peanut butter.
Did you toast it?
No, it wasn't toasted. But like, I can make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with a goddamn spoon, like nobody's fucking joke. Like, I'm a whiz with the spoon with making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but with a butter knife, I couldn't fucking do it. And I don't understand, like, what the hell is wrong with me. How do y'all guys make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? Can you use a butter knife, or do you use a spoon?
Yes, I use a butter knife.
I'm confused at how you weren't
able to. Let me ask you a basic question. Do you put your peanut butter in the refrigerator?
No, I put it in a cabinet.
Oh, okay.
The jelly is in the refrigerator.
No, that's what I do.
Yeah,
it gets too hot.
The sweetest that I brought this up too, like, she makes a peanut butter jelly sandwich using a butter knife, and like, I showed her how you do it with a spoon, and she's like, "Wow, that just seems easier." Because she didn't understand, like, you know, you just end up with peanut butter like left on the spoon. But I'm like, you just kind of scrape the bread with it, and like, that's how you get off of there. But I cannot make a peanut butter jelly sandwich with a butter knife. I have to use a spoon.
You're gonna really have to record this. I need to see this shit.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like, hold on. I feel like it's gonna be like one of those infomercials where somebody can't do shit like basic tasks, and he's gonna be like, he gets a fucking butter knife and he just smashes the fucking the bread all over it. I don't know how this works.
like the peanut butter part. I mean, it's I can kind of do that one. It's not so bad. But when it comes down to the jelly, like, I just can't spread the jelly with the butter knife.
Wow.
God
all right.
damn,
Yeah, I didn't know that was a.
Tell you on that, man.
Yeah. I didn't know that's what that was going. All right.
I'm gonna film it.
Yeah. Yeah, I make peanut butter. Well, I make peanut butter sandwiches for Riley. Almost not daily, but a lot, and it's. But I also toast the bread. So.
I did the same. Yeah.
And shout out to Cake Man. No, I was not drinking. I was stone cold sober. But Warriorfell actually asked the question in the chat right now. He asked, were there any likable Super Bowl ads from the Super Bowl from 2021?
I did not watch.
You haven't seen any of the ads?
I haven't seen any of them besides Winter Soldier.
The Drake one was kind of funny. The State Farm one, that one was pretty funny. I actually boycotted.
Yeah, I kind of like. Go ahead.
I boycotted the entire NFL. This is the first time I haven't watched a single NFL game, unless I was like overseas. Even overseas, I fucking watched them. I boycotted the whole fucking season. I didn't want to talk about it, but it's just like, listen, we have COVID going on. I'm not gonna watch this fucking silly nonsense. Fucking football is not essential. You know, they've had people get sick from COVID from this stuff. Where it's really not necessary. Like, there are some sports that you can do, you know, while social distancing. Football ain't one of them. I mean, like, fucking tennis. I mean, yeah, tennis you can do it. A couple other ones, but not football. You know, so yeah, I didn't watch a single thing, but I watched some of the commercials. I watched like the top 10 commercials. The Drake one was pretty funny. The State Farm.
Yeah, I like the fuck, what was it? The Cheetos, the one with Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher with Shaggy singing, like, you know, it wasn't me, and they did the whole, like, you know, her eating the Cheetos or whatever and hiding it from him. I thought that was kind of funny, but yeah, the ads weren't really that spectacular this year. What do you guys? Did you guys see the Drake halftime show?
Oh,
that wasn't Drake.
It was the Weeknd.
I'm sorry, the Weeknd. Sorry, the Weeknd. The Weeknd, Drake.
The Weeknd getting lost in his maze.
I kept seeing the memes of the Weeknd getting lost with the camera basically in his face, looking high out of his fucking mind.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, he did this bit where he went into like a maze museum or a mirror maze and was just kind of bouncing around and shit like that. Yeah, it wasn't. This performance was. I mean, the singing was decent, but the whole show was like, it was okay. It wasn't. It was no Jennifer Lopez and Shakira.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't think it was bad, but when it comes to like Super Bowl, performances, I think of like Prince had a badass one a couple years back.
Yep.
That one was awesome.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah, that was an iconic one.
Dude, Bruno Mars did a really good one.
Yeah, that was a good one as well. And like, what was the one where Missy Elliott came out? That one was pretty dope too, because she came out and it was totally unexpected. Because I thought that Missy Elliott was like done with everything, and seeing her come out again was amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, this one was. I mean, the Weeknd's a weird guy, so I mean, he was fucking homeless 10 years ago. Not that homeless is weird or anything, but he makes very weird videos, like the one where he had like the fake plastic surgery thing going on. That was fucking weird as shit. Somebody's like microphone is like just rubbing on something. You got to stop. It might be you, Prodigy.
Yeah, it's not me. Yeah,
might be me. Sorry.
But yeah, it's just like I expect his stuff to be kind of weird at this point, so it's all right.
Well, I've seen him in concert, and like he's just a singer. Like, there's no showmanship to his performance. Like, he doesn't like have. At least when I saw him, he didn't have like amazing dancers, and he didn't dance. I mean, during the halftime show, he kept doing like some kind of like Michael Jackson's impression a little bit. But yeah, The Weeknd, he's not a. I don't think he's that great a performer, but he's a great singer, but not a showmanship performer.
That's fair.
Yeah, you got to be able to do a little dancing and grooving,
Oh yeah.
If you're going to be on that big of a stage. But I don't know. From what I saw, it seemed entertaining-ish, but it didn't seem like it was one of those things that 3-5 years from now someone's going to be talking about per se. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm glad he got the opportunity. I mean,
I love what was it, Gian from Daniel and Gian Talk Shit. How you said that The Weeknd was an impression. He did an impression of me singing the national anthem for American Idol. That shit had me fucking rolling. That shit was so fucking funny. And like I saw his comment before I actually saw the the halftime show, and the whole time I was watching, I was like, "Damn, he's kind of right."
There's one more B than BTI.
Okay.
Barbecue, mustard or tomato, sugar or vinegar.
Ooh, so
Wait.
I have a clarifying question before I can answer. Are we talking about like brisket, or are we talking about pork ribs?
I think he's just talking about like the sauces.
Yeah, for me, it depends on the meat we're talking about. Though.
Yeah,
Go
that depends too. Yeah, and it also depends on like, cause I've had some really good, like mustard and vinegary barbecue sauces, but it's only like it depends on where I am. I'm not eating that shit in California. I'll tell you that for goddamn sure. Like, because barbecue in California is super sketch at best.
Mm-hmm.
But if I go to if I'm in Kansas or Kansas City, or just Kansas, whatever. This Kansas barbecue is the mustard one, right? I'll definitely eat that shit. But if I'm eating California,
I don't think I've ever had mustard on barbecue before.
it's
weird.
good. It doesn't sound right, but on the especially like brisket, it's pretty good.
Yeah. I think I'm trying to make sure I don't fuck this up, but I think the Carolina version is like the mustardy.
Is it? I could be wrong. Yeah.
I think. Yeah. So for me, brisket wise, I'm going more, I guess, like vinegary, style. But when I'm having pork ribs, I want it to be a little bit sweeter. A little spicy, but a little sweeter or whatever. For the mustardy, I've had it for pork ribs as well. I got to be in the right fucking mood, and I got to be in the right location that really knows what the fuck they're doing. But yeah, it's rarer with that. What do you say, Olden?
I'd say in agreement for the most part with you. Like, definitely vinegar for the brisket style. For pork ribs, because I have a smoker. I have two smokers here, and with pork ribs, we make like a kind of a sweet based barbecue or sweet and spicy type of barbecue sauce. Because you can do literally a barbecue sauce with ketchup and like other ingredients, which I've done. And then also with beef ribs, we actually put no sauce. We just season them. So mustard, it's gotta be kind of like, it's gotta be cooked right, because if you do mustard and vinegar, it can be all kind of weird and make me like not want to eat anymore. So, um, yeah, I've actually had to make because we made. If you watch House of Cards, we made Freddy's ribs. There's a recipe online on how to make Freddy's ribs and how to make the sauce from scratch, which we did here at my house, and it was actually really good. We did the Carolina sauce. It was actually really fucking fire on some pork ribs, so I enjoy that a lot. Vinegar, I'm like always kind of hesitant, but it's actually really good with brisket, which is strange, but there you go.
I gotta figure out how to sous vide some brisket. I'm gonna do that.
No, hey, there you go. You might be onto something, brother.
Hey, check. You know the right channel to check out. That sous vide everything.
Yeah,
Those
yeah.
guys fucking they sous vide every fucking thing.
I can't believe they sous vide fucking eggs to make like those soft eggs. They're good as
Oh,
fuck.
yeah.
I did it. Yeah.
To poach it? Yeah.
Whoa, wait, where it's all runny on the inside?
Yeah, yeah. It's cooked on the outside, but running on the inside, it's super good
Oh man,
because it keeps it at that perfect temperature.
I sous vide some yogurt. Using your sous vide machine is really good for making yogurt.
Are you serious? Wow. All
Well,
right.
you
Wait.
put them in mason jars and you put them in the water,
Oh.
and it just regulates the temperature to make sure it stays at 110 degrees.
You made your own yogurt. Okay.
Oh, I make yogurt all the time, especially in the instant pot. I make yogurt in instant pot all the time. Like I got some I'm making some right now, and I make vegan yogurt as well for sweetness.
Holy shit. Okay. Nice.
You can do a lot in instant pot.
Yeah, Instapot and sous vides. It's weird because like Instapot and sous vides are like the exact opposite of each other, but they're really good kitchen tools. Like one is fast, the other one's slow as fuck. So
You guys already convinced me on the Instapot. I do love that thing. That thing is awesome. All right, guys, let's round it on up. Blue, what you got popping this week?
This week. Well, first thing I want to talk about is this shit movie on Amazon called Bliss with Selma Hayek and what's the guy's name from
Owen Wilson.
and Owen Wilson. Yeah, it's a movie that just came out this week, and
Wait, it's not. It's a TV show.
No, it's a movie.
I thought it was
Call-
supposed to be a show because they
Nope.
said it's like.
Well, he watched
it
it.
like 6 runs.
I watched it, and it was a TV show. I mean, sorry, it was a movie, but yeah,
Huh.
it's not that good. It doesn't make any sense. It kind of jumps around without telling you like what the fuck is going on. I never watched a movie and felt so fucking lost before. And then at the end, like I was like, what the? It's basically it's almost like the book I read, NPC, where like everything's kind of fake. It's a cheap Matrix basically. That's basically what it is. A really badly made Matrix movie with no fucking powers whatsoever. But watch it if you want. But I didn't like it whatsoever. But I wish Stitch was on here because I wanted to talk about that movie with Jared Leto and Denzel Washington.
Oh, the little things.
Yeah,
Yes,
the little thing. I wanted to talk about that one as well. But
Yeah, he
I know
wanted to-
Stitch
yeah,
watched it. So
There's some
save it for
stuff
next
that
week.
Stitch wanted to talk about. We have to wait until he comes back because he put on some stuff and he wanted to drop some knowledge. So we gotta wait till he comes back.
But yeah, anyway, so this weekend, I got some more yard work to do. I'm doing that. We're slowly getting ready for Baby Blue to show up. This Friday we'll have 5 weeks left until he's here. So super excited about that. We're still working on refinancing our house. Yeah, other than that, just chilling and trying to be an adult, not get this COVID.
For real. Kronos, what you got?
Let's see. What is going on? Oh, this week was supposed to be SF Beer Week, but COVID. Fuck you, COVID. Thanks for stealing away something else from my life. I
You
missed.
need a sad react to that, man. You need some sad music, a violin or something playing.
It is quite sad. This is the first year in probably 8 years that I haven't done SF Beer Week, which is sad as fuck. Usually I wait until after SF Beer Week to stop drinking for a little while, but I stopped drinking right now. I'll probably start drinking again on like the 20th or something like that, because the Bistro is doing their double IPA fest, but they're bottling all because they usually do like a double IPA fest, like it's a competition, and so they vote on who has the best double IPA, and that's usually like a whole like event. And it usually starts off SF Beer Week, even though it's not really part of SF Beer Week. Anyway, this year they're gonna bottle up all of the winners, and I'm gonna pick it up on the 20th, so I'm gonna enjoy some double IPAs on that day, and I also have a shitload of beer that I ordered that is just sitting here not being drank at all because I'm taking some time off. Also, I went back to, I think I talked about it before. I went back to keto, and holy shit, it really affected like my cycling because like I ride the Peloton bike all the time, and this has been horrific for like my overall like cycling cardio. I remember when I was doing jujitsu, I went keto. It wasn't that bad, but then I realized that when I was doing jujitsu, I can focus on technique, and I'll be all right. But like just cycling, like doing just constant cardio, like yeah, there's some technique in cycling, but it ain't that much, you know. At least for me as a fucking a novice. So it literally felt like battery acid and cement was pumping through my veins for the past like week and a half. Every time I hopped on the bike, it was just like it was fucking terrible. Like I couldn't get over a certain output, and it was like fucking torture the whole time. But today I finally got back to normal a little bit. So hopefully that'll continue, and then I'll probably come out of keto in the next week or so. But yeah, that's all I got going on. It's fucking Groundhog's Day. But hopefully that'll be coming to an end soon. I'll talk to you guys about that later, as far as like our family goes. So
Good shit.
Can
Old
you get
Ninja,
like a jiu-jitsu dummy that you can roll with, like
it's not the
to
fucking
spar with?
Yes, you can, but it's not the fucking same.
That's
People
true.
do it. I'm just like I need like a live person to fucking strangle. You know, people do it all the time. But you can do that, but you're not gonna feel like what you need a non-willing opponent. That's the main thing. If you're doing it with
Somebody to
like
fight
a
back.
dummy, you might as well be doing fucking karate. You know what I mean? It's just like you don't know it's gonna work. So that's the reason why I'm not a proponent for the jiu-jitsu dummy. But a lot of folks out there, they swear by them, but they also probably fucking suck at jiu-jitsu. So I'm just saying.
God
I
dang.
don't see a single world champion in jiu-jitsu have a fucking jiu-jitsu dummy. So I'll leave it at that.
there you go. Old Ninja.
Yeah, not a whole lot. It'll be my niece's birthday, so I might try to see her. We'll probably be in an open area, away from a lot of people. We'll see what happens. I'm probably most likely just gonna give her gift. I got her. I managed to procure a PS4, so I'm just gonna get her a PS4. I mean, I know it's last gen.
What
quote
is
unquote, but
what a PS? What?
PS? You know what?
I don't even. What the fuck did you just say? Just
There's a number lower
a
than
number
5?
less than 5? Like what the fuck?
Oh my god!
Do you love this person?
Yeah, but still, I mean, she doesn't need all that, all that horsepower. You can't give that much power to a small human. They may blow themselves up. But yeah, I actually got back into Destiny. Destiny 2 dropped their current season on Tuesday. So a friend of mine got it. I mean, if you have the Game Pass, all the content is on there for free except for the season pass, I think. And so I've been helping him go through like the story, and the game has changed dramatically since it came out. Like that whole first campaign is all gone. Certain whole planets are gone. It's like a totally different experience now. So I'm actually adjusting to this whole new Destiny, I guess. But yeah, it's pretty much just gaming a bit, trying to get Prodigy on some more of the squadrons. I know he needs to beat the game. We were supposed to play last week, but it didn't work out. A lot of stuff was going on. But yeah, just gonna be trying to play some more Destiny. I'm gonna try to Twitch some of this out, so you can see the new season that's going on and whatnot. And then yeah, it's kind of it.
For me,
Nope.
on Monday, I got this second fucking vaccine shot. I was all good. I was all good that same day. The next day, I started having some pretty bad body aches, but just took some Tylenol, got some sleep. Today's the third day, and I don't have mutant powers, but I'm feeling a whole lot better. You know what I mean?
Nice.
So shout out to
Is there an
fucking...
arm growing out of your back? You check back there.
No, you know, my dick ain't bigger or anything either. So you know what I mean.
You did get small like
Are you-
like Anaconda malt liquor gives you a little dick.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick,
man.
quick shout out to Bono Price real quick. I just want to give him a shout out because if you listen to the podcast or watching us live, I've upgraded my microphone basically, and I got the microphone I'm using is a stage right USB large condenser mic and stand that you can buy on Bono Price for $30. But then also the headphones I have on now are also from Monoprice, and they're stage right Monoprice multimedia studio monitoring headphones. So these are pretty legit fucking headphones that I have on now.
Your audio
And
is
all
is
it's
a
all $30.
it's a huge increase from like
Yeah.
yeah. So if the rest of you guys could possibly do that, that'd be great because we already had some complaints over video and audio. So yeah, his audio is like if you guys listen to this podcast and then listen to how Blue sounds and I sound, and then listen to how you two guys sound, it's gonna be like a big difference. But I know Prodigy, you do it on your cell phone, right?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just on my phone.
You gotta figure out something for that, maybe. I don't know, but hopefully this comes to an end soon. So yeah.
We will see. Yeah, I mean, you guys, once you guys get vaccinated, we can see about it. Um, Watching some, we didn't talk about it at all, but really good episode of Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
Still sticking with that, and then this redo of Healer is some serious stuff uncensored. Not for the faint of fucking heart, man. Holy shit, this one's pissing off people.
I've heard it's got some really fucked up subject matter. So
yeah, I mean it's some revenge, etchy, leaning towards hentai, but not quite going there because there's no actual, like, uh, penetration that you see, but it gets right up close to that. But it also has a good story and shit. So I fucking dig it. I've only seen about 3.5 episodes so far. I might watch a fourth one later on fucking tonight. Now that the house is getting a little quieter, and then I want to check out. I'm a big fan of Persona 5, and so they had a brand new one, Strikers, that just dropped. Good reviews so far. It looks like it has some real time like RPG elements. I don't know about real time strategy, but like real time, not turn based RPG stuff. And Persona has one of the best soundtracks in all of JRPGs. So I might start fucking with that a little bit later. We'll see. That's all I got. Old Ninja, take us out.
all right, you just experienced Black and Black times Infinity.
Infinity.
Dankest podcast on the internet. Check us out anywhere you listen to podcasts: Spotify, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, Radio Republic, YouTube. Every Wednesday night, 8:30, we go live on 8:30 Pacific time. I was gonna say West Coast time, but same thing. You check out our official website, binheadproduction.com /BThanBTI. That's BTHANBTI. Check us out on Amazon. We have an app on there to let you know when we go live. And then now we have a Discord. So join the Discord, be on there, be part of some exclusive stuff on there. So there you go.
Hot shit. You about to lose your job.
I figured you ain't gonna sing it.